I'm not really sure how that could be a thing. I don't know. That's really interesting. I've never really thought about that. But I suppose if that was you, your consciousness, but they're not mutually exclusive though. You could have both. I can
No,
value
no, I'm
both.
saying well, no, you can value both, but do you value them any differently? Do you value me, the same individual, differently, just in a different body?
Hmm. No, I think that they would be valued the same. If we were
Okay.
able to insert
So the
human
life
beings
that
into
I have
robots,
doesn't change the value at all. That's what I'm showing you, is
right?
that
Yeah,
that
yeah,
doesn't even ground for you in terms of value. What the value
sure.
part is the subjective experience. So if what the valued part is the subjective experience, and that
No,
subjective experience doesn't even exist yet, hasn't ever existed,
no, but
right?
that's what
How
I'm
can you
saying.
say that it
It
has
can be
value
both.
yet?
It can be both, though. It's not one or the other. It can be both. I valued you, yourself in a robot, the same as I would value you inside your mother's womb at the moment of conception.
Yeah, I
Do you understand?
understand. I get you. I get you when it relates to that. But that goes against your point. That tells me that you don't value me on the basis of my biology in terms of whether or not I'm living that way. You value me based upon my brain, my awareness, right? My subjective experience. That's what that told me.
Well, yeah, I value people on that as well. As
No,
well,
it's
no,
not. It's
it's
not. It's not just as well. Of the life, right? It's coming from the sentience for the subjective experience. Because if
but
it
it
was
doesn't.
the case that it had any level of value, there would be a distinction. Do you
It
understand?
doesn't. Yeah, but it doesn't suggest that at all. I don't think.
It does suggest that. What are you talking about, right? If they don't have a difference in value, right, and one has one quality that the other one doesn't have, that tells me that that quality provides no value. Because if it did provide value, then it wouldn't be equal.
Yeah, I don't really. I understand what you're saying, but I don't think that is kind of relevant. I really don't. I think that they're both valuable because they're both life, not because
No, they're not both
one.
life. No, they're actually not. Because
Well, why
life
not?
relates to the biological functions. There's no biological function within a robot. It's just the consciousness.
Well, I think that then I suppose that human consciousness is also valuable as much as life, even though they're different. And I think that's the reason why we value humans over animals because
Wait,
of human consciousness.
okay, so if it's just as valuable and we have one entity that has the life and the subjective experience, and then we have just one individual that just has the subjective experience, the one that has the life and the subjective experience would be double the value of the one that only has the subjective experience, because you said they're of like equal value. So adding both of them together would then equal double, right? So you would value two consciousnesses of humans put into robots the same as one biological human being that has sentience. Is that what you're saying?
Mm, no, it's not like just a math problem. I think that they're both valuable for different reasons. So equally as valuable for different reasons, but
Okay,
are better than humans. You're still confused. I'm
equally
not
valuable.
confused. He's definitely making me think.
I don't
I've
see
never
how
thought
that could
about.
be the case.
A 100% value and 100% value, and you can't go over 100%. No matter how much you add to it, you could say this person's pretty, or this person's smarter than this person, or this person's this, or this person's that. It's irrelevant. All human life and human and human and human and human and human and human and human
Computer.
like with AI.
Yeah, that's something that's been hypothesized.
No, that's not what we're talking about.
No,
That's
not
not
like just
that's
taking
not what we're
AI.
talking about at
We
all.
take our consciousness.
Yeah, but we can't do that. We'll never be able to do that.
I don't think you
Which just totally defeats this whole argument.
brain that could be you place value on. That's the point of the
It's not
analogy.
really that logically possible. I would think like if
It is. What's
like
the contradiction?
Mr. Beast like an AI learn everything about his entire life and then is because of human consciousness. So if we were able to take that one thing that separates us from the rest of everything living separates us from the rest of everything living on separates us from the rest of everything living on earth separates us from the rest of everything living on earth. The value is just consciousness. So far, I thought.
Yeah, sure. Do you want to get back to the argument you had for God, or?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, yeah, no. I think
Hello? Hello?
historical evidence.
Your mic is cutting out, bro.
Shall not sleep with a man, and a woman shall not sleep with a woman. Therefore, being the quotes in the Bible are it doesn't matter because that's immoral. The Bible to me is from the even back to Jesus's life. It's just the exact same thing as if
Natural claim. And then you just put it in a book. That doesn't tell me that I should believe it.
I'm number one. I'm not telling you
They were born 4 AD, right? They lived till like what, 30, 37 AD or something. Um, and that's when they wrote this down. Like, no basis of who these people are, right? So it seems like you're not accepting that claim within the Bible, right? So it
because
seems like some things in the Bible were not. accepting.
Because in my opinion, the Bible has much more.
Hinduism is true? At that point?
No, because we're talking about now. But I'm not saying that I believe in Christianity. That does not mean that I'm going to hate or judge anyone else for being gay. Because then that wouldn't be me.
No. I'm asking you to justify your belief that it's wrong, right? You said that
Have to do is ask yourself if there is a God. If there is a God or not. Do you want to? Once you ask your question, do you believe in the Big Bang, or do you believe in God, or do you believe in whatever else?
you
If
can believe in the Big Bang and believe in God. Completely false number. In all these fields of study, you're denying almost every field of human study.
I am, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, clearly.
So do you understand these studies?
Do I understand everything? No, I do not.
Okay, so can you give me one piece of evidence that you understand on how the Earth is billions of years old? If that's what you truly believe, right?
Yeah, the half-life of particular things, right? Like I'm pretty sure the half-life of lead is what 4.5 billion years old, right? When it relates to the Earth.
Do you know that that's how long it is? Okay, dinosaurs, for example. All right.
It's going to be the what's up? Radiation decay.
Okay, so dinosaur bones. You can't deny dinosaur bones. They're right there. Unless every scientist ever or every dinosaur bone ever was created in a lab and they pretend to dumb them up and just put a number how old they were.
How do you know that they pretended?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying if that was the case, you can't make up dinosaur bones. So I'm claiming you can't make up dinosaur bones. So if scientists say this one particular dinosaur bone was 2 billion years old, in your opinion, because that's what they say, how do you know that that's how old the bones are?
Because they did processes to test it.
What kind of processes? They can just type up.
It can be radiometric dating. It depends on the type of thing that you're referencing.
Yeah, but do you even understand how that works?
I don't understand fully how everything works when it relates to these things, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they don't have processes to confirm or disconfirm these particular claims.
Do you understand how you?
I don't. When I go to a doctor, I don't know how every drug works particularly completely, right? But I know it's likely to be effective given statistics, given evidence, right? Things like that, right? And the same thing also applies to these particular fields of study.
You're comparing a medicine drug to help cure whatever.
Yeah, I don't know how every single drug works. Like when I took Accutane, I didn't know completely how it fucking worked, but it was effective for me.
Yeah. So in the Bible, I think in Bible timeline, the Earth would be 6,000 years old, around something like that. I don't know the exact amount of years, but I know it would be like around 6,000. And
so you believe the Earth is 6,000 years old?
Yeah. So when scientists want to say they did research and they found, and based off their carbon dating, whatever, bullshit they went through your face. And
You want
they
to
said-
know something wild, Landon?
what?
You know something wild? We have literally agriculture that goes back further than 6,000 years, dude.
What kind of agriculture?
We don't we have like dates of like human agriculture that relate back to that,
Like what?
like prior like 10,000 years. When did humans discover agriculture?
You looking up when humans discovered agriculture and then
Yeah, about 12,000 years ago, humans discovered
Just because
agriculture.
Siri said
Right,
that.
and you believe that the Earth is half the lifespan of when humans discovered agriculture.
You looking up when did the humans discover agriculture?
No, I'm putting it in perspective, man.
Okay, yeah, but I'm putting what you just did into perspective. You just looked up how many years ago did humans discover agriculture?
Landon, what shape is the Earth?
What shape is the Earth?
Yeah.
A sphere.
It's a sphere?
You're talking like
Wild. Yo, I did not expect that. Yo, W's in chat for Landon, everyone. W's in chat for Landon. It's spherical. So we exist in a world in which there's like a solar system. You believe that? You believe in the Milky Way?
like all like the hundreds and thousands or actually hundreds of billions of galaxies, like
Yeah.
endless galaxies. And you know what? I really can't. I have not done my research into that. Obviously, the scientists want to put pictures out there and say that they've seen devices out there to take pictures of the sun and much farther and farther than that. So whether I choose to believe that NASA is accurate or any other space program in the world that's gone out to space and taking pictures, quote unquote, and say that's accurate, that's anyone's opinion. But
So how do you know that they're accurate when the evidence indicates that it's spherical?
You really don't.
You just believe it?
As far as like NASA's pictures,
Yeah.
I really don't know.
You don't know?
I really don't know as far as there being billions and billions of galaxies out there. Now, if you look with the telescope, I have not personally done it myself, but people with telescopes that
You've
I
never
know-
looked in a telescope? Right. Yeah, I mean, you can see a lot, man.
Okay, I've looked through a telescope, but I haven't looked at a planet through it. I haven't like looked through a telescope. And
That's
seen,
wild,
like,
bro. You should go do it, man.
Yeah, so like I'm not claiming that there isn't like a Jupiter, Saturn, and then our sun. I'm not denying the proof of our solar system, but it's hard.
Wait,
for
but
me-
you didn't even go through it. Thank you, Marvin. I appreciate the shiny air balloon. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, Marvin. I appreciate both of them. Thank you. Yo, Marvin. You can keep going, by the way. Thank you, Marvin.
No,
I appreciate all the shiny air balloons.
So yeah, I think it would be a great idea for me like get a telescope or like borrow a friend's telescope or go to a friend's house that has a telescope and like look to see like our solar system. But
Yeah, but if you believe in the solar system and if you believe in like the Milky Way and stuff, it's gonna be a hard time denying like the Big Bang. Thank you. I appreciate the galaxy. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Big Bang.
Well, because you relate to all the different galaxies and whatnot, we can see red shifts within your universe. We can see cosmic background radiation
You can see
photons.
the shifts
So if
in
you
music?
accept red shifts, right, which tell us that essentially like that things are moving away from us.
Right. So that all comes down to what you believe in evidence with your own eyes. Like NASA can just throw that bullshit out there.
No. You can observe this yourself, right? So like,
I've observed that myself.
well, I mean, you can look at like the images that come from like the
From
James
NASA?
Webb Telescope, right? You can look in terms of telescopes. You can go to a place where they have like an observatory and look through like a top tier telescope. You'll be able to see a lot.
So how would I be able to see the universe shifting through a telescope?
Oh, you talking about the red shifts?
Yeah. How do I see that through a telescope with my own eyes?
Oh, with your own eyes? Clearly you'd have to go through like the processes. I don't know like when you would be able to do it through a telescope. Thank you for the duck. I appreciate it. I'm not familiar with like the exact times because I haven't done it myself. But would you like me to fund that process for you?
You just told me that I could see the shifts through a telescope. Oh, nice.
Yeah, you clearly can, right? They have images of this type of stuff, right? Because they have looked through the telescopes. Apparently radio telescopes are used for that, but I'm just not familiar with like the exact process that is undergone to observe it.
Someone said in the comments, "No way we have a flat Earth believer."
Well, we don't know yet, but like I'm just saying, if you accept some observations about the universe when it relates to space, it's hard for you to discount the other types of observations.
The only observations I could see myself considering is if I looked through a telescope and saw the Milky Way and saw Jupiter and Saturn.
So you have to see it yourself.
Yes, I do have to see it myself. So if you want to talk about, okay, well, you didn't see Jesus sign the cross, you didn't see him rise from the dead.
I could say that, yeah.
So personally, I believe in the Bible.
So you apply the ultimate skepticism to whether or not the earth is flat, right? But you apply absolutely legitimately zero skepticism when it relates to your belief in God.
Are you telling me that I said the earth isn't flat?
Well, no, you apply an insane level of skepticism when it relates to accepting that like the solar system exists. You have to see it yourself, right? But when it relates to like other types of circumstances, like your belief in God, then you don't apply any level of skepticism.
Yes, because
I wonder why.
My thought process comes through something doesn't come from nothing, and that the universe has a creator, in my opinion. So if I was
it doesn't have to be a God when it relates to coming from something, right?
In your opinion, because all of this is based on...
Yeah, but like I can do a theoretical comparison to say that you should accept one comparative to the other, just given the notion of theoretical like simplicity. Like it requires less assumptions to explain the exact same thing. I can also provide contradictions with your belief. Would you like me to provide contradictions?
Okay, what? So I see a bunch of people in the comments talking about contradictions. Let's hear all the contradictions.
Yeah, all right. So do you believe God is free will?
Is free will?
Yeah.
In what terms?
Can God determine his own action? Could do otherwise?
You mean does God have free will over himself?
Yeah, does God have free will in relation to his action? What?
Yes, God has free will over his actions.
Okay. Right. You think it's reasonable?
I don't think it's reasonable because...
Oh, you don't think it's reasonable. So then
I don't think it's
reasonable. Do you agree that any faith plea is unreasonable?
Do I believe that any faith is unreasonable? No.
Any faith plea, like that's just only
Muslims,
faith.
So for all the Muslims out there, for all the people that believe in the Greek gods, or for the few people that believe in the the Native American religion, I forgot what that was before Cumberland took over and we became the states. If you want to believe in, if you're a Jew and you believe in that, whatever you believe in, and if you want to seriously believe in that and do research into that, then that's fine by me, and I wouldn't judge you for that. But you comparing whatever you just said to a religion that has
to faith, right? Because it's the same thing. When you're talking about faith, you're saying believing in anything, right? With no evidence,
faith never
right?
came out.
If I believe that I'm going to be Ben 10 after I die, that's the same thing as that.
No, it's not.
It literally is.
No, it's not.
Name me the distinction that's relevant.
You can't compare that to the Bible.
They're both based upon faith.
No, the Bible...
No, both of these claims are based upon faith. I never
said that I believe in the Bible because of faith, though.
Well, that's what you literally were saying. No, okay, come on.
I use logic and reason. I asked myself, do I believe that there is... Because 2 years ago, I did not believe in God.
Wait. If you lose logic and reason, can we get back to the argument? Right. I was running the problem of evil on you, man.
Running logic and reason on why I believe in God?
Yeah. If you agree that you use logic and you use reasoning, clearly speaking, we can just use the problem of evil here. Okay. Yeah. So when it relates to God, you said he had free will. You said he never does evil. So I said that it's possible, since it's possible and God can actualize any world in which it's possible. God can actualize the world in which human beings have free will and never do evil. So God has a choice between a world where human beings have free will and there's no evil, and in a world in which there are human beings that have free will and there is evil. Right. So given the fact that we see that we exist in a world in which there's evil, when there could have been a world in which there was not evil, given the same conditions of free will, clearly speaking, we would say this God doesn't exist, as it would entail another state of affairs to exist rather than the ones in which we exist in.
So there is a heaven and there is a hell. Right. So if God wanted to snap his fingers and have control of the human mind and have everybody act perfect, then I believe that he could. But like Jesus said, that Satan is the prince of this world, and Satan has a lot of influence on this world. And I hate it. I hate that that is the case, because there are people that do awful things. And I was one of them. I used to not be a Christian. I used to not follow Jesus. And the moment I started to, my whole life changed. I stopped judging others, the way I thought of people, the good deeds I did in my life, that all changed. And I became a much better person. So God, there's a heaven and a hell, and there's no point of God just making everybody good, because God only wants the people in his kingdom that will truly follow him because they want to, not because they're forced to, in my opinion. And like, for all the people in the saints telling me to stop judging, I do not judge gay people. I do not think that gay people should not live. I do not believe that gay people should not have rights. I do not believe that gay people have any less value than any other people on the earth. Yes.
Okay, so saying being gay is immoral, that's a judgment. One. Two, if you're saying that God is all good, he's going to select the world in which is most preferred. So the world in which is most preferred has sin over a world in which has no sin. So you have a statement that results in saying God prefers sin, which is a contradiction because sin is against God's preference. So you end with a statement that says that God prefers something that's against his preference. Hold up. You end with a statement that says God prefers something that's against his preference, which is a contradiction.
When did I say that God prefers something that
is against his preference? When you said that God selected this world over a world in which there was free will and no sin. I never
once said that God selected this world over another world.
Well, that's entailed given that we exist in this world, right? Because what world exists was dependent upon God's selection.
Me and the Bible never once said that God preferred this world over another world.
It's entailed given what you were referencing.
Where? How?
Because we're talking about God being all-knowing, all-powerful, all-good, which means that God has knowledge of all logically possible worlds. Thank you for the little crown. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hold up. God has knowledge of all logically possible worlds. God has the power to actualize all logically possible worlds. And then God selects what possible world God wants based upon him being all good. So what's most preferred?
Someone in the comments said, why did God make the world? God made the world.
Wait, Landon, can you just tell me what I just told you?
Well, you keep putting words in my mouth. And
no, what did I just say to you? Because I just explained something that was relevant, and you didn't listen. You just read the comment section.
You said that God prefers a good world over a bad world.
No, so I named the characteristics all-knowing, all-powerful, all good, and I gave you an understanding of it. Thank you for the corgi. I appreciate this. So listen real closer, quick. Thank you for the corgi. I appreciate it. So God has knowledge of all possible worlds. God can actualize all possible worlds, right? And then God selects which logically possible world based upon his preferences, i.e. his all goodness, right? So God selects the most preferred world. So if God has a choice between a reality in which there's free will and sin and a reality in which there's free will and no sin, if we exist in the reality in which there is sin, that tells us that the reality in which there is sin is preferred to the reality in which there is not sin, which results in the contradiction.
Okay, so God made this one world and this one world only. God isn't going to destroy and erase our world and make a new world. Can we start off with that? Right?
The flood?
Yes, the flood. That was an attempt for him to, because obviously he made the flood happen because us humans were going around slaughtering other people and being awful in God's image.
Is that not happening now?
It is happening now. And that's why, if you ever heard the seven trumpets, which I'm sure you have, and the mark of the beast, do you know what the mark of the beast is?
Yeah, it's bullshit.
It's bullshit? Oh, so what is Elon Musk's new ship?
It's not a chip. It's called Neuralink.
Okay. So, but you have to implant it in what? What do you have to implant it in?
It's in your head. It doesn't go in your wrist.
Oh,
The one you're talking about in the Bible is in the wrist, isn't it?
it's wrist and the head.
I'd have to check back, but
Yeah, you can check that right now. Wrist and the head. The forehead or the right wrist. And
you don't need anything in your wrist for the Neuralink.
Well,
and also it's not going to be mandated.
Okay, but by the way, that whatever technology it is possible for it to be put in your wrist. There's commercials of people paying with their right wrist.
That doesn't mean it's going to be mandated for the whole world to do that.
I never said it's going to be mandated for the whole world.
That's what the Bible says, doesn't it?
The Bible does say that. And that doesn't mean that it's going to happen right now, but that could happen 50 years from now. We don't know. We don't know the timeline. The Bible never gives a timeline. The Bible just said that it's going to happen. And that process has already
QAnoners are saying that Trump's going to be president.
What?
Yeah, and QAnoners are saying that Trump is president.
What does that have to do with anything that we're talking about?
Yeah, there are claims that are made all the time about many things. That doesn't mean they're accurate.
Yeah, but the actions to make it happen are being put forward.
Like
correct?
what?
Like the people that have done the test, people that they've tested on to do it.
What?
There's been tests for the Neuralink where they put it in your head, and
I don't think they've done it with humans yet. I think it's just getting approved for humans.
Have they done it in animals? Because I know they've done
other types of animals, yeah.
Okay, so hence taking towards a step to eventually do it in humans, because obviously the point of doing it in animals is to make sure that it is eventually a safe procedure to put it in humans. Obviously, animals don't have a place in our society where they work and get paid and go pay for stuff.
We are animals.
Okay, obviously. But
so you don't deny science there.
Humans, do I believe it depends what your definition of animals is. I don't feel like we're animals like a lion or a monkey or a panda or a penguin.
We are animals like them. We're just not like the same animal as them.
I feel like we have similar features to some animals, but that doesn't make us animals. Everyone has different...
You just said we were animals.
Everyone has different definitions of animals.
Can you define animal?
I do not know the dictionary definition of an animal. Can you look up the dictionary definition of animal?
You know it's going to apply to humans, right?
What?
It's going to apply to humans.
Okay, but that isn't...
A living organism that feeds on organic matter, typically having specialized sense organs and nervous system, enable an ability to respond rapidly to stimuli.
Okay,
Sounds like humans are animals.
Okay, whether humans are animals or not, they're not going to test on a squirrel for Neuralink surgery because that squirrel will eventually go and work and pay for things at a Walmart. Correct?
Huh?
Okay, so they're doing tests on other species so they can eventually do the test on humans so humans can pay with Neuralink or the right wrist.
Dude, they're not good at this. Dude, it has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with like the chip in the wrist. Or like that's not gonna happen. Do you actually legitimately believe that we're gonna have the mark of the beast, bro? Like be real. Be so for real.
Yes.
Be so for real. Be so for real, dude. Why?
Okay,
why are they gonna microchip us, bro? Explain.
Okay, so have you seen about the government wants our currency to go all digital? No more money.
W digital currency. Yeah.
Why?
It's mostly digital already. I already pay with Apple Pay.
Yeah, but that means there would be no cash.
I never use cash. Why do you need to use cash? Tell me.
Okay, that means the U.S. would not be the world reservator.
It already isn't the world reserve.
Officially, it is right now.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It literally isn't.
Who is them?
There's different ones for the different countries.
How is there more than one country for the world reserve?
Wait, what are you talking about?
I just asked you a question. Who else?
Like a global reserve would be like the IMF, the Intermonetary Fund.
So
that would be like a reserve. I don't know what you mean by like that would be related to 1971 after we got rid of what was it, Bretton Woods. We were like the reserve currency of the world.
So you think that us going digital and there being no more cash, all the cash was destroyed, that wouldn't hurt our economy at all?
No, it would benefit our economy. It makes trades more efficient.
How would it benefit our economy numbers wise?
There's less medium to trade, right?
So
cash is a medium to trade. It also doesn't allow for it also allows for like bad actions like child sex trafficking. It allows for like under scaled drug dealing that leads to like people dying due to their drugs being laced. It leads to a lot of inefficiencies when it relates to our market.
So you're okay with having zero privacy of your money?
Well, what privacy do you need when it relates to these purchases? Like when it relates to those things, people already know what I'm buying when it relates to my bank. The government already has access to that.
You wouldn't have any privacy with anything in your life. Literally zero.
It doesn't need to be public to everyone else. It's going to be privacy towards other people, right? But it's not privacy to the government.
You think the government's going to keep that private?
The government, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's what it would be. You keep that information private from like general people in the public, but it wouldn't be private to like the authorities.
All right, hold on. Here's what's going to happen. Right. If we both want to research that tonight and you want to make that a whole debate topic tomorrow, I will gladly come in here with you and debate about that. But
about whether or not you think the mark of the beast is actually happening?
No, we just started talking about why digital currency would benefit.
Oh, digital currency? Well, I mean, It's clear that's effective.
I believe that the mark of the beast is absolutely going to happen.
Digital currency does not entail a mark of the beast. Digital currency is currently what we're already using now.
It's not the only option, though.
Yeah, but like, there's really no reason we need cash.
Okay. So if digital currency was the only option and there's no cash, it's just digital currency, and eventually, say 100 years from now, you had to have you weren't even allowed to have credit cards anymore. You can have credit cards. Credit cards are digital. Yes, as of right now, yes. But say 50 years from now, that wasn't the case, and it is only the Neuralink surgery or whatever in your forehead and in your right wrist.
It's not going to be in my right. That was the only option.
Dude. There was no cards.
It's not going to happen.
You're saying that's not going to happen, but
Landon, I promise you that's not going to happen, bro.
Okay, but 100 years from now, people would have said that they would 100 years from today, let's say 1923, people would have never said that, yeah, the U.S. will never ban cash. Like, the U.S. will never get rid of cash.
Because they didn't understand technology.
Okay, so what if...
Actually, likely speaking, people would think that, especially if they were communists, because they want a moneyless society. There were a lot of communists in that time period.
Okay, it doesn't matter. If you could say that 50 years from now, the government could throw some BS at our face saying that was the only way and it would benefit us. And they would give you BS excuses of why that would benefit us.
These aren't BS excuses. These are you can look at like what economists say about this. Mediums to trade, things that restrict trade.
What do just communists have to do anything to do with this?
What?
What do just communists have anything to do with this?
Me? I said economists.
Oh, economists.
Yeah.
So you're telling me a year ago that economists would have eventually agreed with the fact that no cash in the U.S.
Yeah, economists would say that mediums to trades, things that restrict trade, are going to reduce efficiency.
So how would banning cash help that?
Well, because it's harder for you to move things from one area to another. Also, it's harder for you to actually recognize what types of bad things people are engaging in, right? So it can like keep a lot of the cash underneath. I appreciate that, Mustache. Thank you so much. Because oftentimes when it's being used by people who are, like crime lords and stuff like that, they're not going to keep that cash open to people. It's not going to be transmitting in the economy, right? Because they're keeping it on the low point, right? So like that acts as a barrier to trade.
Or the government just slowly wants to take away your rights.
I don't know what you mean by take away rights, right?
Your freedom and privacy.
Yeah, so you don't have the freedom to like disadvantage other people. You don't have the freedom to put people else at huge risk.
I feel when it comes to sex trafficking and drug dealing,
Yeah, don't you want to reduce that from happening?
absolutely yes. And I feel
But you can't do that by just having like complete freedom. Thank you for the cap. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. You have to have some ability to stop this. And the way that you stop this is by ensuring that we know how people are engaging in transaction, right? We don't need like realistically speaking, anything that I would buy, anything that you would buy, anything that anyone in this call or anyone listening that would buy is nothing that would be of concern. Right?
I mean,
so there's really, realistically speaking, nothing to be scared of when it relates to that.
So,
There's
what
nothing
if
distinct from
our
the current system.
currency? Okay, like I said, if you want to make this a debate topic tomorrow, then we can. I will come in here.
I don't think this is a full debate topic I can do.
It
But
is. I think it absolutely is. I think debating whether that the U.S. going full digital, the U.S. currency going full digital.
I don't think people are very much interested in that. Chat, yes or no? Chat, yes or no?
Chat, yes or no?
Yo, Landon, send a guest request back, bro. You got an echo. Actually, I think you're fine now. Hello? Yeah, I hear you now. Yeah, a lot of people, are saying nah.
You really should, though. I think there's people. Yes, all the people that don't know. Yeah,
I see a good amount of yeses. I see a good amount of yeses and good amount of no's. I don't know.
I feel like you would have. Look, you got 3K in here right now. I think you could have at least 10 people that would make solid arguments with you, and it would be good for you because you get money for your life.
Dude,
you should do it. I will hop in here tomorrow and debate with you for 30 minutes tomorrow.
No, it's dependent on whether I don't care about the money part. It's dependent on whether or not I can get people up and spurs good conversation.
People here right now. That's what we've been talking about for the past 10 minutes.
Yeah, but it's because we're on talking about different stuff, right?
All right, listen.
I don't know if that's a topic you can talk about fully.
The beast, and yes, I do believe.
If a mod wants to make a poll, you can. I'm not going to make a poll right now. I'm kind of lazy.
I feel you.
Nah, I have to sit forward and tap on the screen, you know.
All right, I'm gonna let someone else get in here. I think they're getting tired of me, and I really appreciate you. And I'll if we make a topic tomorrow, I'll come debate.
Sure,
with
man.
you.
I'll see you.
See ya.
All right, I'm going to go on to the next person. If you like my content, follow me if you haven't already. Tap that screen, everyone. Let's try to get to 150,000 likes, everyone. I'm going to go on to the next person. If you disagree, send a guest request right now, everyone. Where are the mods at? I have no clue. Parker, are you a bit tired and grumpy? I'm not grumpy. What? I'm not grumpy at all. What the hell? That's a wild assertion that you just made there. I feel like I'm pretty jumpy today. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, how old are you?
Yeah, I'm 21.
For sure. Do you think that being gay is immoral?
No, but I had something to talk about, from your argument with that dude. I wanted to, ask you about something.
I am just looking for people who disagree with the topic.
I'm gay, but I disagree with your stance on, disregarding religion because, I feel like the way you talk about it with people is, hella disrespectful. You know what I mean? Because it's
how am I being disrespectful?
I feel like it's disrespectful because it's you just kind of disregard okay, so your argument of why God isn't couldn't exist, right? It's just you're completely disregarding it because you're saying that he couldn't exist because it goes against his can you reword what you were saying to Landon about that? You were saying
the problem of evil?
Yeah, he wouldn't be able to...
Yeah, so it would be that God prefers a reality in which he has a preference against, because there would be a sense in which God prefers sin, because God would be preferring a reality in which humans have free will and there is sin over a reality in which there is free will and no sin. Right. And so me giving an argument isn't disrespectful.
I feel like it is a little bit, just because it's you're going against the core beliefs of the religion, because it's
Wait, so any debate or any argument against anyone's position is disrespectful?
No, I didn't say that.
That's literally what you just said. I'm giving a really basic argument.
I did it.
I'm being nice. I'm not being disrespectful. It's obviously weird, dude.
Well, no, because what I was saying is that you're basically somebody that obviously this is a core part of their life, and then you're just tearing it to shreds and basically being well, that doesn't logically make sense to my human brain, so it just doesn't make sense. Because even if because I'm not even religious, but I just feel
it's contradictory, right? So me saying that there's a contradiction isn't disrespectful. It's me stating a fact of reality.
Right. But I think that religion is kind of full of contradictions to human, like honestly, every religion, like you could say, like,
Oh, well, you were just disrespectful then because you said that there were contradictions in religion.
no, that's not disrespectful. But the way
Well, that's what you said.
no,
was
I
disrespectful.
said that your tone about it. That's what I mean.
How is my tone, dude? What do you mean? I'm actually like I have a pretty chill tone. That's like ridiculous.
No, because you'll be talking to people and you're like eating and you know what you're doing. You're like fucking like you're like basically like making them look like a dumbass like on live. So it's like that's my thing.
Me going through an argument, right? Is okay.
No. I don't know. I feel like you know what I mean, but like you wouldn't admit it, of course, because like I don't know.
I admit anything I think on my live.
I don't know.
I literally do. I literally do.
To them, bro. Like they're obviously like stupid, and like you like embarrass them. I don't know. Like it's
how am I being mean? Like I honestly like is like any debate like just someone being mean or someone being disrespectful?
No, it's not any debate. It's just like obviously if somebody's uneducated and they're raised in a system where like you know what I mean. It's not like you're trying to change their mind. It's like you're trying to embarrass them. That's what it is.
So how am I trying to embarrass?
Because you'll be laughing. You look at the comments. You're like laughing, and like I don't know.
Well, some claims I'll laugh. Like someone the other day made a claim that praying mantises are smarter than human beings. Are you telling me that you wouldn't laugh?
Okay.
Come on, Reese. There are some things that are said on my live. I can't hold it back, man. I really can't. I try really hard, bro. But like that is wild, bro. That is wild.
Yeah, because I honestly, it was making me so mad for the guy that was before you or before me because it's like I feel like he couldn't fucking like voice like what he was trying to say, and like that's why I was like, bro, like please just get someone in here that can like talk about like I don't know because I just feel like what he was trying to say is like okay because I was raised Christian but obviously I'm gay so like there's like a thing with how I'm like I don't know if like you know I obviously a part of me wants to defend it a little bit but like a part of me is like oh shit like it goes against like how I was born almost like you know what I mean so it's hard for me because when I see people talking about I'm like I know what you mean like you're trying to say like you can't explain logically to somebody why God can exist in the reality that we like are in you know what I mean because it's like oh there's sin and there's all this turmoil and like if there was a perfect God how could he like allow this to happen and I feel like people don't know how to explain that like
no, Reese, it's not that how could he allow this to happen? That's a separate question. It's logically entailed that this would not happen. And that's the view. That's why there's a contradiction and that's why there's an issue with it, is because it results in a statement in which says that God prefers something which is against his preference, which is a clear in contradiction. You can give perfect arguments. Say again, there's a perfect God that would, or a perfect creator that entails perfect creations. Right. We don't exist in a perfect creation as human beings are sinful.
But what if there was sorry, go ahead. I don't want to cut you off.
Therefore, there isn't a perfect creator. So within the same notion of perfect that the God believes in and that's dictated within the Bible, right, it would be dictating that there's a contradiction within that respect. Right. So just pointing out these contradictions that they exist isn't disrespectful. It's not an issue. It's something that I'm bringing up as a fact of reality, as we need to acknowledge these things. We shouldn't hold beliefs in which there are contradictions.
Mm-hmm. Well, do you think that our language and like our words that we describe it, we're like saying like perfect, right? Like our definition of perfect, it makes it hard for people to explain what they mean because it's like saying that something's perfect and that they could create something imperfect contradicts itself in our language or whatever. But like just it's basically just semantics, you know. That's what I mean? An
equivocation. I'm not equivocating. I'm using their own internal sense of what perfect is, because sins are a flaw by God's view, not by my view. I don't care whether or not someone lied about there being a cookie jar and there being in a room. I don't care. That's not a big deal to me. I don't really care. God cares. That's a flaw to God, not a flaw to me.
Do you think this way about like all religions or like only Christian?
Yeah, well, any religion that has an all-knowing, all-powerful, all-good entity. That's perfect, yeah.
And also, I was just going to say, what if there is... Okay, so this is just me trying to, like, understand you completely, like, your point of view. Like, I'm not trying to say, like, you're wrong or whatever. I just want to know, like, with people with your same thought process, like, I want to know. So, with the... what if there is, like, a reason why God, like, did what he... Like, you know what I mean? Like, say God created this imperfect... Like, obviously they believe that he's doing it for a reason. So, like, why... But like, it's a reason that we can't understand. You know what I mean? So like, how do you even argue something that like we're not able to understand? And that's like that. It's just so hard because you can't. You know what I mean? Like you can't argue against something that we're not able to fully understand.
I don't know. I think that's not a good
Suffering or
response to like
limited.
the issues that we're bringing up, because I think we can conceptualize of these things, right? If the only thing that would be limiting any God's action would be things like logic, right? Well, then clearly speaking, right, any limit that would be placed upon this reality in terms of whether or not it could be the case that everything is all good would be from God. Because if you think about it this way, there's an infinite set of logically possible worlds of what could have happened to the different actions that people took. If it is possible that an individual could never sin in their life, right, then it is possible that there's at least one reality out there that everyone freely does not sin, right? It just happens to be the case that in this reality they never sinned. That's the reality that God should have chosen,
But
because they freely did that.
But
There's
how-
still free will and there's no sin.
right. I don't know. It's hard for me to wrap my head around why like you would have the authority to say like why God, like what reality God should have chosen though, because like
It's given God's desires, right? So I'm not using my own values. I'm using God's values. God doesn't like suffering. God doesn't like sin. So if God doesn't like sin,
just, like,
God would have done this.
reading the Bible or like from people you've talked to or like
Yeah, this is from the Bible. I grew up Christian.
yeah. Okay. So do you think that like you're like growing up Christian like that affects like did you have some kind of like moment where you're like, yeah, this is bullshit? Like why? Like what happened? Like
It never happened at like one point. It was something that happened over a long period of time, being like, okay, this isn't making sense. This isn't making sense. I can't make sense of this. And it just like, it stacked up over time.
okay. Well, I'm gonna go because these people don't want to listen to me right now. So, but bye, guys.
Appreciate it. All right, let's go to the next person. If you disagree, send a guest request right now. Please only send a guest request if you disagree, y'all. We're just looking for some debates. Tap that screen, everyone. Let's try to get to 250,000 likes, y'all. All right, is it not going to accept people? Okay, it's not. I'm trying to go to the next person. Give it a second, everyone. Only send a guest request if you disagree. Again, we're just looking for some debates, y'all. Just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hey, I'm 25.
For sure. Do you think that being gay is immoral?
No, actually, no. I just wanted to say really quick. I just wanted to say something really quick, if that's okay. Have you ever thought about debating people that lean more towards to the left,
Yeah.
like pro communism and stuff like that?
Mhm.
Have you ever thought about holding debates like that? I'm just
Yep.
wondering because I would be very interested in debates like that because I definitely lean to the left way more than you do. So I would like to hear your point of view and stuff. So
Yeah, I've debated in the past. I was going to make a background for it. I haven't quite come up with one recently though, but yeah, I've definitely been thinking about that.
all right, amazing. Yeah, I just wanted to say that, and that also, I really like your content. My husband and I are
Appreciate
like
it.
very big fans of yours.
I appreciate it.
So yeah, keep up the good work.
Thank you so much. Have a fantastic day.
You too. Bye.
All right, everyone. Again, if you like the content, follow me if you haven't already. W's in the chat, everyone. But let me go into the next person. If you disagree, send a guest request right now. Let me go into the next person, everyone. I don't know what's been going on. Have I been on for 3 hours already, y'all? It does not feel like it. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello? All right. They're not here. Let me go to the next. Only send a guest request if you disagree. We're just looking for some debates, everyone. Just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Okay. All right. I don't know what's going on. Give it a second, everyone. I'll get to the next person. Only send a guest request again if you disagree, all. We're just looking for some debates. Just looking for some debates, everyone. My ears, yeah, no, that was so loud.
Hello,
Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 18.
For sure. Do you think that being gay is immoral?
What do you say?
Yeah, do you think that being gay is immoral?
Yeah,
Why so?
cause it is unclean. It's an unclean act to God.
Yeah, so to God. So how do you know that this particular God exists to then say that it's unclean?
He exists because in the Bible it says that men are ought to walk by faith, not by sight. You feel me? So you don't have to see, just have to believe in Him.
Okay, so if I have faith that Stewie Griffin created the universe, is that justified?
Repeat, please.
Yeah, if I believe that SpongeBob created the universe, is that justified?
Ah, okay. It is, but you have to have you have to like. Okay, yeah, I think it is.
It is?
Yeah, but
I take it back. What if it was Patrick?
yeah, but what? Okay, bro. Now, God, God exists, yeah, but He gives us a concrete reason why He exists. It's not just because we have to see it or we have to like experience it for us to believe that God exists. Nah, it's not a reason.
It's not a good way. So if I just have faith that anything created the universe, is that justified?
You can't just say anything create a whole universe. It's not. It doesn't work like that.
Well, but like you said, I can just have faith, right? So there's nothing that would be
God is
distinguishing your view and my view other than the fact that we just decided to believe different things.
okay. God is not anything. God is more than something. You feel me? So you can't just say anything creates the universe.
Okay. So can I say an almighty Pan created the universe?
Okay. The Almighty is God, so I agree. God created the universe.
No, not a god, an almighty Pan.
Okay. There's not like an almighty pan. For an almighty to be a pan, yeah, you have to like, bro. Why are you trying to confuse me, bro?
No, what I'm trying to show you is that if you think that it's okay to just believe something based upon faith, well, then it's going to lead you to thinking that it's okay to believe things just based upon faith that seem very absurd, right? Like me believing that Ben 10 created the universe through a temporal loop, or that it was a flying spaghetti monster, right? Or it was a chair, right? Or it was Rick and Morty, right? I can think anything created us, right? By faith. There's nothing stopping me from doing that. So what makes us think that this is some type of justified position when you can believe in anything?
Okay. The fact gay being immoral is because not based on the fact that God is there, but based on everybody's view, yeah. Being gay is unclean.
No, it's not unclean.
Okay.
Not necessarily.
see-
As straight intercourse is not necessarily unclean, but it can be.
So what you supporting right now, you're saying God doesn't exist.
I'm saying the Christian God, I don't believe in it. I'm saying that, yeah, I'm saying there are contradictions with particular notions of it.
So
Yeah.
what kind of God do you believe in?
I don't believe in any God.
So you saying God doesn't exist, yeah?
Well, I mean, me saying I don't believe in a God doesn't mean I'm saying that any God does not exist. Because, I mean, sure that it's logically possible for there to be like a deist God, a God that just like created the universe and like left it, that doesn't really care about it.
So
That's like possible.
So who created? So on your own view, yeah, who created the universe?
I don't know. I don't think there's a sufficient explanation as to what led to the universe's existence.
You don't know, but you believe in that. So why do you why so, bro? Come on, you can't just say nothing created the universe.
I don't say that there's nothing. I say that I don't have a sufficient explanation. But I can give you an explanation that is more likely to be true than the explanation that says that there's a God.
So what kind of explanation is there?
Yeah, so there would be a prior state of fundamental particles in which have the necessary properties to bring about this reality rather than another one, the same way that the God that you believe in has the necessary properties to bring about this reality rather than another one in terms of God's desires. So within that respect, you wouldn't have to hold to God having a mind, having desires. You don't have to hold to God being aware of things. You don't have to hold to heaven, hell, judgment, angels, demons. You don't have to hold to miracles within the Bible, right? And you can still explain as to why we exist, right? So if you require less assumptions to explain the exact same question of why we exist, well, then it's going to be more likely to be true, because if there are more assumptions, you're relying upon each of these different things to be true for the entirety of the explanation to be true, right? So you require less things. Do you see how it's more likely to be true in that sense?
Okay. So God giving us free will to do these things doesn't mean he's good. Like he accepts us doing it. That's how I say.
Yeah, I'm not saying that God accepts you doing everything. I'm saying that God could have created the world in which all human beings would have never done the bad thing in the first place. Because again, if it is logically possible for a human being to never sin, right? It would be logically possible for there to be at least one possible world in which there is every human being that had free will and they never sinned. It's not like God is setting the characteristics of each being and being like, oh, because of this, they are then not going to sin. It's saying on the off chance in which this happens, God selects that reality. So God didn't determine the action. God just selected the reality.
So, what you saying that God created good and evil? Yeah, I agree to that. So God created good
Well,
and
then you have
evil,
a
but we are the
contradiction.
one.
You have a contradiction. God created evil, right? God's all good.
Yeah, he
God
did.
did something evil. That means that God doesn't exist.
People saying God can't do evil doesn't mean God can't do evil. God does evil, God does good. But he does everything just for the glorification of his mighty son, you feel me? So God creating good
So
and
it's
evil.
not truly
When
evil. It's still good. Like, for example, right? Like, if I give my kid a vaccination, it's not good that their arm got pricked and they felt pain, but it is good that it developed immunity. So I wouldn't say that I created like good and evil there. I would say the action that we did there was good, even though there was some level of suffering that existed in the action, because again, it led to a greater good. So do you mean that this action is truly good, or do you mean it's truly evil?
Okay, hear me out. When God created Adam and Eve, they were in the garden, everything was all good. Before the serpent came and persuaded them to eat the fruit of good and evil, that's when man brought good and evil into them. Normally it was meant to be automatically good. But out of the disobedience we had on God, Eve ate the fruit of good and evil, what brought good and evil to the world. That's why and God doesn't let us do what we don't want to do. He gives us the chance and the ending. We'll come back to him to tell him sorry. Because that also explains why God needs to be glorified. That's a great glorification of God's name. You feel me? So everything, that's how it is. I don't know, but that's how it is.
Yeah, so is there anything else you want to talk about or add?
Okay, nothing.
I appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much. All right, let's go on to the next person. If you disagree, send a guest request right now. Oh my gosh, why did my voice just do that for a second? Holy shit. Let me go to the next person. Again, only send a guest request if you disagree, y'all. Oh my gosh. All right, y'all. I'm trying to get someone up here. Give it a second, everyone. Only send a guest request if you disagree, y'all. My voice? Yeah, that was brutal. I need to drink some water.
Oh my god, okay.
What's up? How old are you?
Hello?
Yeah, how old are you?
I
You're gone. That's what it is. Your voice keeps cracking today. I'm trying not to. So, yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hello? Hey, my cousin told me to get on this live.
Well, you're not old enough to be on the live. So I don't know what your friend was telling you to do. It wasn't really rational, but he was just trying to waste your time, bro. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
All right, so I'm actually 19.
Yeah, do you think that being gay is immoral?
Well, yeah, I believe being gay is immoral.
Why so?
Basically, it's against everything, both science and biblical. I might not actually go spiritual here. I might just go in the terms of science. But if you actually based on what I've heard you say about other people, the contradictions that you've been giving them, I can still go biblical if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, I can go either or, right? Try science, try religion. I'll go through any argument. And also, there's a little
All
bit of
right,
an
so
echo. Is
I'm
there
going
any
to
way you
start
can
with
fix that?
Okay, okay, sorry. So so can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right. So basically I'm going to use the biblical aspect now. That's the spiritual aspect. I heard some contradiction, some stuff that you said about God creating, like he has the free will of creating a place of good and evil, has the free will of creating different universes, and then decides to just create one with evil, which means that he's not God because he is evil when he's supposed to be purely good.
That was bare bones. I mean, I could provide a better statement of it right now because I think that it was different from what I necessarily argued. But yeah, do you want to go through that argument?
Yeah, I mean, like you said that God created, like He has the ability to create different universes, like place us in different places, but then He decided to just place us in a place where this is actually filled with evil, when He could have just made everything good and perfect. Yeah, instead of the killings and everything.
Yeah, so God had a choice between a reality in which there's free will and evil and a reality in which there's free will and no evil. And given the
All right,
reality
so
that we exist
basically,
in, since there's evil, that tells us that God preferred that reality.
okay, so basically, I want to like expatiate on something. In the beginning, God created Adam and Eve, and then He placed them in a garden that was where they had free will and where there was no such thing as evil. Now, before He created the garden, He had recreated the angels, where we have the whole story of Satan going against God and then falling down and then turning to Lucifer, to the devil. So yeah, basically during that time, Adam and Eve, he actually created Adam and Eve, and then Adam and Eve had a free will to do whatever they wanted, and then they also had good. And so basically what happened was that Satan came and then tempted Eve, and then God actually put them in the garden and then gave them the tree of life. I was like, hey, you can eat this if you want to, and but I tell you that you should not eat it. You should not eat of the tree, because the moment I eat of it, you will die. So basically, he told them that you can do this or you can do that. But if you choose to do that, you will get like a repercussion. You will get an effect of it. So if you eat of that fruit, you will die. So basically, at that point, when Eve ate it, they knew of God's like command. They knew of God's like words to them, like you have to do this, you don't have to do that, but if you choose to do this, this will happen to you. But then they still went ahead to do exactly what He told them not to do, and then that's the reason why we have all of this evil here in this world. But then He still has given us that free will. He might have given us like the he might have like put that there might be evil in this world, but still He has given us the free will to do whatever we want. Like He told us that you can choose being good or being evil. But if you choose to be evil, there is an effect, there is a repercussion for it. But if you choose to be good, of course you will say heaven, you have good life, you have long life, you will live good. But if you choose to be evil, you choose to go down the wrong path, then there is a repercussion for that.
Yeah, I don't see how this responds to my point though, because I'm relating to, again, if God has the ability to choose between all these different realities, God would have chose the reality in which, again, they would have just never sinned in the first place, even though they have free will.
Okay, you see, basically, if God was to create you in a way, was like, okay, this is you, this is what you're meant to do, and then He just puts you there, and then it was like, okay, you're created to this. You don't have any free will of your choice. You don't have any.
I don't know why you're removing free will. I argue that this scenario, they do have free will.
Well, yes, they do have free will, but still, just like, let me take you back. Satan is the person who causes the evil and not God. God put us on earth where we have to go through the temptations to he does that to test our faith in him. You understand? So we
Oh, wait, but God's
we can
all-knowing,
choose to
right?
better people.
But God's all
Yes,
knowing, right?
God is all knowing.
Okay. So can I give you an
Yes.
example? Like, say that there's an example. Let's say I have a significant other and I know that they cheated on me. Do I need to test them again to see if they cheated on me? Is there any reason to do that?
Like, I don't understand. Can you just actually
Yeah, let's say I had a
pretty quick?
significant other that cheated on me. I know that they cheated on me. Do I now have to test them to see if they cheated on me? Is there any reason for that?
No, there is no reason for that.
There's no reason. So if I know what they already did, right, there's no reason, or I know what's going to happen, there's no reason for me to test them. In the same way that if God is all knowing and knows whether or not you are going to go away from your faith, God doesn't need to test you. God already knows.
Now, basically, like I said, is God is all knowing, but he isn't the one who decides our action. He knows what we're going to do, but he isn't the one who decides. He gives us that free will that, yes, you can do this. You can choose not to sin. You can choose to sin. He's basically outside of time, matter, and space. He's not affected by all of that. And he just places you there and like, okay, I have given you this to do and this not to do. You can choose to. I know that you will do this, but I just give you the free will for you to do this or that. So it's basically your decision to either go into sin or not to go into sin.
I understood that, but again, we're talking about God creating a reality and again having choices between which reality it would be. And even given the conditions of them having free will in all of these realities, in some of these realities, they do different actions than they did in others. For example, right, I can have free will in two different realities. In one reality, I eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and in the other reality, I eat Lucky Charms. Both of these realities, I had free will, yet they resulted in different outcomes. So God would have knowledge of all these different outcomes. God would be able to choose from all these different outcomes. And one of these different outcomes would be that no one ever sinned. Okay, so God would have chose that as that would have been the most preferred world, given that he has a preference against sin.
Well,
Hello?
Well, I do believe that he knows all of that. I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do believe that he knows everything. I believe that he knows everything, but still, everything is just placed in the how will I put it? The principle that you can do it or you can choose not to do it. So what you're trying to say is that you believe that there might be two universes. There might be a chance that there are two universes where you can do two different things.
Here, I can run a different one. So do you think that God is a perfect creator?
Yes, I do believe that God is a perfect creator.
Okay. Like, does a perfect creator create perfect things?
Yes, he does create perfect things.
Like, that's the expectation, right? Are human beings perfect?
Human beings are not perfect.
Are they created by God?
They are created by God.
So it seems like God wouldn't be perfect.
God is perfect. He is perfect.
Okay, then God doesn't exist because God couldn't be perfect and imperfect simultaneously. And given that we exist in an imperfect world, that tells us that we have an imperfect creator. An imperfect creation implies that there's not a perfect creator, because a perfect creator would entail a perfect creation, or that there are perfect things.
Okay, so I want to ask you this. Imagine you're like God. You're a perfect creation. You're the most perfect being that there is, and you create. You create humans. Would you want to create humans on your level, or would you want to create humans based on that they are lower than you?
Well, no, we're just talking about what would be entailed given a perfect creator. A perfect creator would not entail an imperfect creation in the same sense of the terms that a perfect free throw shooter wouldn't entail 9 out of 10 free throws made.
Okay, I do. In the beginning, like I said, Adam and Eve, they were perfect. at that point they were perfect, but then they went into sin and then they became imperfect.
They became perfect. I'm confused what your point is. They
I mean,
they
like,
would never be imperfect. They
they were-
can't be imperfect because again, perfect creator entails perfect creation. If they ever did something that was imperfect, right, or like a flaw given God's view, that would mean that they were never perfect in the first place. Because if I was a perfect test taker, right, and then got 98% on a test, that indicates that I wasn't, in a prior sense, a perfect test taker because I would have got something wrong.
So you do know that God didn't create us to be perfect.
Yeah, and that's the issue.
Yes, God didn't create us to be perfect because
that's the issue.
we're not God. Actually, we're not God. So we cannot be perfect like God. There's a difference. And just so, okay, let me explain this to you. Jesus came down as a man, and as he came down as a man, he was imperfect. Will you believe that?
Say that again.
Jesus came down as a man, and when he came down in the flesh, he became imperfect.
When Jesus came into the flesh, he became imperfect. I don't think that's what people would say. I think people would say it's still perfect.
No. Okay, let me like explain this to you.
And
When
actually,
Jesus
wait,
came
but
down,
before you do, I do want to respond to one thing. People ask, can God intentfully create something imperfect? I would say no, because that would be indicating that God would prefer imperfection over perfection, which would indicate that God would be doing something imperfect. Thank you. I appreciate the Corky. Thank you so much.
Okay, so I want to how will I put this? Okay, so basically, if we were to be perfect like God, then we will be proud. We will have this pride, like, okay, I'm very perfect. I don't have any reason to sin. I'm like God. You understand? I'm like God. But then when God created us to be imperfect, for us to rise to that perfection, you understand? We are imperfect, but then as time goes on in our faith, as we develop our faith, as we rise in our faith, we actually go from imperfection to perfection. That was the same thing that happened with Jesus.
No, Jesus was always perfect under your view. If you're saying that Jesus is not perfect
Yes.
and you think that Jesus is God, then you agree that God is not perfect.
Now, so just so you know, baptism isn't for God because God cannot be baptized. God cannot sin, so he cannot be
Wait,
baptized.
Jesus
But
was baptized.
Yes, Jesus was baptized.
So Jesus is not God.
No, Jesus is God, but he's God in the human flesh.
But God was baptized
He came-
then. God was yes, you can't say that
flesh.
God didn't do those things.
No, the flesh of Jesus.
But Jesus
was
is
baptized,
God.
not God.
Jesus is the flesh
Okay,
and the spirit.
Okay, yeah, exactly. He's like, okay, basically
He's the
when
combination
Adam
of
and
the two.
Eve, yeah, so basically you even know all of this. So basically when Adam and Eve sinned, what happened was that the bridge, the connection between them and God was broken. And then different people during the time came to like create that connection. You see the terms of Moses, in terms of King David, Isaiah, Jeremiah, the rest, the prophets. They tried to rebuild that bridge between man and God, but they could not because they are men. And as they are men, they are imperfect. So God brought down himself in the form of man. But he can't bring himself down to man's form because he's perfect. He can't bring himself down to imperfection to save man or to interact with man. So what he did was that he created a bridge, which was Jesus, which is both man and spirit. That is both perfection and imperfection.
Yeah, that's contradiction.
That
You can't
isn't
be perfect
contradiction.
and you can't be perfect and imperfect simultaneously.
Okay, how would I explain this? You want to send a servant, okay, you have people. Okay, you have people who are like, okay, you have workers, and your workers speak Spanish. You don't speak Spanish. You have a son who speaks both English and Spanish. So what do? You get your son to be like a mediator, to be like an interactor between you and your workers. So your son speaks Spanish, your son speaks English. He speaks English to you, he speaks Spanish to them. So basically, he's like the bridge between you and your workers.
Yeah, speaking English and Spanish aren't like contradictory statements. You can speak English and speak Spanish. I'm confused. Your point.
You can speak.
But you can't speak English and not speak English. That would be a contradiction. Thank you for that, Mustache. I appreciate it. Thank you.
So exactly, you can speak English and not speak English, because you can be perfect and not be perfect, which is the same thing. That's God. But then God sent His Son, which is perfection, which is spirit and flesh, to be like a bridge, to be like a mediator, to bring like some kind of connection between
Phoenix,
and
what you're saying right now is that something can be flawed and flawless. That's what you're saying. That's the definition of perfect given in the Bible. That is what you're saying. That's
Okay.
what the Bible says. The Bible defines perfect as that. Psalms.
When Jesus died,
when
Jesus died, his flesh died. And his spirit was what ascended to heaven.
Okay. What's your point?
So basically, what I'm trying to tell you is that he was flesh. Okay, would you say that God can bleed? Would you say God can bleed?
If you think Jesus is God and Jesus' blood, yeah.
So no, basically, I mean God in His perfection.
Can God? Yeah. So like this is also my point, is that if Jesus bled, yeah, I mean that'd be a sense, but perfect, yeah, like God wouldn't bleed, sure, because the bleeding would be a flaw in my sense, right? What we're talking about, what's a flaw given God's sense. That's why it's not relevant to bring up what I think to be imperfect. It's only relevant what the Bible thinks is perfect or what God thinks is perfect. That's why I bring up particularly like sin.
Okay, so do you want me to speak gay being immoral in the sense of sin, or like according to biblical or according to science? Which of them?
You can try any of them. I don't think that you have an established basis for saying that your religion is accurate and saying that it's immoral. And I don't think that you have any basis for science saying that it's immoral.
Oh, science does. I wouldn't say science is immoral. I would say it's wrong according to science.
Science doesn't make claims about what's right and wrong. Science is a method to like determine what's true in reality.
Exactly. So
that's not talking about what's right and wrong, though.
You can either have true. You can either have true or false in science. Immoral is just basically cultural or religious. You can't say immoral is scientific. So yeah, I would say according to science, being gay is wrong.
Wait, you agree that morality is not scientific?
Immorality is not scientific because immorality is more on a belief.
Yeah, immorality is not scientific, but you say that science considers it wrong. Is that not, like, clearly speaking, a contradiction?
Immorality is different from being wrong.
Oh, so what do you mean by immorality?
Immorality is much more like, okay, I can believe that you shaving your head is immoral, but scientifically it is not. It is, you understand? I can believe that shaving your head is actually immoral because it's much more like a belief that I have, maybe cultural or religious, but not scientific.
Okay, so science is simply like descriptive in terms of talking about like why things operate particular ways. What is this fact about this thing that happens in reality? Whereas morals are going to relate to our preferences, what we think should be the case, right? Like what we think would make the
Exactly.
world
That's
better,
science.
right?
I would say stems of
these
science.
aren't determined.
Stems of science.
These aren't determined in the same sense of the terms as like science. It's not done through the scientific method. You can't determine something wrong by the scientific method. That makes absolutely no sense. Utterly incoherent.
Okay, can you just search up the word immorality? Can you just search it up?
Yeah, I know what it means, right? I'm talking about it in
No,
a sense that relates to ethics, right? We're talking about, in a prescriptive sense, what should not be the case. Or what we would like to what we would ought to happen, or no, I can't even speak, or what we think should happen. Let me just speak normally.
Okay, that's just basically immorality, right?
Yeah, no, immorality is what we think ought not to happen.
Okay, so I'm just going to move on in the terms of science now. Yeah, basically, when we are either born as a male or a female, a boy or a girl, and we have an objective as male and females to do one thing, the same objective that animals have everywhere around the world. That's the same objective, which is to reproduce. And so I don't see why being gay or lesbian has to achieve that objective.
The objective of reproduction, are you talking about?
Yeah, the objective of being male or female, of being born, is to reproduce.
Okay, so actually I'll just ask you this. Do you think it's immoral to be celibate, like the Pope?
Do I think it's more to do what?
To be celibate.
I do not know that word. Can you just break it down?
To refrain from engaging in sexual intercourse.
No, it's not immoral. No, it's not immoral.
No,
It's
but
your
that
choice.
doesn't lead to reproduction.
Now, there is a difference. You can choose not to have sex. You can choose not to reproduce. That's a choice, and not something that is that you like engaging in gay or engaging in lesbianism is more like you're going down the wrong. I wouldn't say biblical paths or anything. I'm trying to speak scientifically, so it's more like you deviating from what you were supposed to do. You can choose not to have sex. That means that you're just basically, it's more like a choice of your own not to have sex. But then you being gay or being lesbian is different.
Okay, so if I engage in intercourse with a woman that is infertile, is that immoral?
No, it's not.
There's sexual intercourse there that does not lead to reproduction.
And do you know why?
Because they're infertile?
Yes, because she's infertile. But when a girl, or would I say, when a female is born, what do you think at that moment, without having to go for all those tests to see if she's fertile or not? What do you think at that moment that she is supposed to do? That her body is supposed to do?
Well, I don't think that she can do anything in relation to that to stop herself from being infertile. I don't think that's possible. What I'm saying is that from the perspective in which think of the entire.
I'm not really saying that she can stop or choose not to be fertile, that she can choose to be infertile. What I mean is that the main objective of a female being born is that she is able to carry another human and give birth to another human.
Well, why is that the main objective?
Because she's a female, she has ovaries, she has eggs that are meant to be fertilized.
Wait. Just because you have those things does not mean it ought to be used that way.
Okay, so then what's it useful?
Just because you have something doesn't mean it ought to be used. Like, for example, right? I don't know. I have toes, right? And toes' function is to walk around. If I don't walk around using my toes and I instead walk on my hands, Is that immoral?
No, it's not.
But I'm not using them with their main purpose, right? Or the main
You're not
function.
using them. With the main, you're not using them with the main purpose. Is because, like I explained, the women have the eggs, and the man, he has the
And
balls, and he can
I have
choose
feet.
not.
I have feet with toes, right? And I can
Yeah,
walk around on
he
my
can choose
feet,
not.
right? But I walk around on
No,
my
he can
hands.
choose not to use it. No, he can choose not to use them. That's different from using them for another purpose.
He can choose
Choosing
not
not
to
to use
use them.
something is much different from using them for another purpose.
Do you think gay people are choosing to refrain from straight intercourse? Because they don't choose
Well,
their attraction, but they're choosing to refrain from straight intercourse.
okay, so I would ask, why do people be?
They have consumed processed foods. See,
First of all, we're animals. Second of all, there are hundreds of different animals that engage in gay intercourse. Hundreds. That
Like
don't
I-
eat processed food.
no, that's not true, bro.
No, it literally is true. We observe it in nature. About 10% of rams are gay. For example, there are penguins that are gay that adopt members of their own species and take care of them in family structures and gay relationships and family structures. That doesn't mean it's right to do these things, but it absolutely indicates that it happens in nature. Right? But there's nothing wrong with two gay people being in a relationship, a consenting adult relationship, having intercourse and starting a family. There's nothing wrong with that.
Like, can you go back to like what I said though? I said that there is kids who are naturally born naturally at very young ages and who see something wrong with two of the same genders being in a sexual relationship.
Yeah,
Why-
and there are people who are born and naturally speaking, they think it's wrong for people to be straight. Like, I mean, like that could be the case as well. There are people that are born and
Absolutely
naturally
not,
think
bro.
almost anything, right?
Bro, you really gonna say that, bro? There's literally, bro, you can't find one person who thinks that.
Yeah. So by naturally, right, you don't mean like biologically speaking, they have this opinion. What you mean by naturally is like they don't really think about it, they just say it, which is compatible with the idea that people are socialized to believe these particular things.
Oh, bro.
That it's learned.
If you go to kids who aren't social media watched, because you know nowadays it's just in your face. Like you can turn on the TV, it's a couples who are of the same gender. If you go back in 2008, because I was one of the, you know what I'm saying, like if I seen lesbians, like it would be so weird to me. I'm like, bro, what is that? Like it's so abnormal, you know? So, and that was natural. No one had to teach me that. It's in my DNA.
Wait, no
to
one had to
know
teach
that.
people to be gay, right? Like there are people that had crushes when they were 5 years old on other boys in the classroom. The same way
that's
that
a
I had a
mental
crush
illness,
on,
bro. Like, you
the
gotta
same
get
way
that. Create with a woman. If you do not think like that,
no. What is a mental illness? And then how do you classify it to be a mental illness?
so now you think I'm just this neurological scientist. Like, bro, how am I? Bro, a mental
So
illness.
you're calling it
is
a mental illness, but you don't even know what a mental illness is.
bro, because I know
Wild.
what bro, I don't know like the depths of it, but I know that mental illness is, schizophrenia, depression.
No, you're giving me examples. I'm asking for a definition that can apply to these different examples.
A definition that can apply to these. Bro, like I just said, like schizophrenia, like that is.
That's an example. I'll explain it.
What do you want me to like explain again? Like, cause I ain't gonna lie, I did not catch that. But I gave you, examples of a mental illness. Like, how am I supposed
I'm
to?
asking you what a
that
definition
is-
is for mental illness.
Them things that I just stated, them are mental illness traits. If
No,
you
no.
go in, bro,
Schizophrenia is a mental illness. It's not. You didn't mention any traits. You just mentioned the mental illness.
so Trace, bro, like, bro, like, how do
No,
I
just a
explain
definition, right? Like,
a definition? A person who doesn't think straight. Like, let's just put it like that.
so what? What about someone who's? So if that's what you mean, what about someone who's gay makes you think that they don't think straight?
Like I said, I'm not a homophobe. I don't hate gay people. You asked me, is it immoral? I just think that
Why do you think that gay people don't think straight?
because, like, in that way, like, their biological, bro, I feel like they have a chemical imbalance in their brain that
What makes you think that?
because they don't want to procreate with a opposite gender.
Okay,
They wanna do it with the
wait, you
same
believe in
gender.
Jesus, right?
Yes, bro.
Did Jesus
was
ever
born-
procreate?
No.
So Jesus
he
was
couldn't
celibate his whole life. He didn't feel like it either. He didn't want to procreate.
Did you not
Was
know
it
that
wrong? Was it wrong for him to do that?
Did you not know that Jesus had to fight urges like his whole life? Like he never sinned once?
Yeah, sure. I know he never sinned, but like under your view. But again, I can actually question that. Can you prove to me that Jesus didn't sin? Like you can't do that. That's an unfalsifiable claim. Like if you really think about it.
According to my
There are like 30 plus, there are like a good amount of years, not 30 plus. There are a good amount of years that are unaccounted for when it relates to Jesus. But
bro, according to my knowledge, bro, Jesus never sinned. And if he did sin, then his sacrifice.
yeah, and he intentfully didn't reproduce. Therefore, intentfully not reproducing is not immoral because Jesus did it.
Are you serious right now?
Yeah, I'm totally serious.
Like, how can you put them two together?
Jesus never sinned. Jesus never did evil. Jesus did something. Therefore, it's not evil.
He didn't even.
It's a conditional statement that I derive from the idea or the generalized statement that God can never do something evil. If God can never do something evil, that means any action that God did was not evil.
Exactly, because it was a good intent behind it. Like, bro, that's like, bro, who is God to you? Like, I don't understand why people say things like
all knowing, all powerful, all good God. Perfect.
Why are you putting him in a human box? Think about it.
Well,
like
that's not a human box. That's defined by the people who believe in the same God you believe in.
Bro, can you listen real quick? Listen, he's the creator of all life. So good is from him. I don't want to hear nothing else. If good is from him.
Evil from him?
Bro, no. That is why we are here every day trying to prove to him that we choose him.
Why do we attribute all the good to God, but none of the evil?
Because without God, there is nothing. So I don't want to hear.
Yeah, without God, there is no evil.
Okay, but we choose to be evil out of free will. Even up in heaven, you have the choice to turn from God, which is all righteous, which is all good. Your lack of knowledge is putting you in a dark box that is going to put you in a darker box eventually.
Let's think about it this way, right? Do you think God is perfect?
Yes, bro. I love God so much. I get on my knees every morning and I say, thank you, Lord, for waking me up.
I bet you do. So if God is a perfect creator, right, that means that he creates perfect things. Do you agree?
Absolutely. Until we disobey his law.
Okay. So, so well, I mean, you can't disobey or do something like that. That'd be a flaw, right?
Oh, Jesus never did, huh? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So again, right, you can't espouse a flaw because you'd be perfect. So it would have never been able to be corrupted as it would have been flawless.
Again.
So again, the idea is that perfect creator entails perfect creation. If there isn't a perfect creation, then there's not a perfect creator. Like we live in an imperfect world because human beings are imperfect to God because we sin.
Yes.
Right. Therefore, God's creation is imperfect. Wait, but it came from a perfect creator. So perfect creator leads to imperfect creation. That's the same thing as saying a perfect free throw shooter missed a free throw.
Again, your lack of knowing who God is making you ask these questions. You don't understand what actually happened. You're not tapped into spiritual, and you don't understand why God did certain things. Do that make him evil? Absolutely not, because you wake up every day. Little do you know, God wakes you up every day. So you just need to just humble yourself, bro. Because
how is God waking me up?
God is not bad, bro. He's good. He is not the bad one. Hell wasn't even made for us. It's literally not made for us. But we choose to go to hell by not accepting who God is. You know, like he don't send no one to hell. It's our choice. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want
makes
to,
no sense.
how,
Okay, because we can make all these choices and hell just doesn't exist.
bro? We
So
have
we
the
don't go
choice
to
to not
hell.
sin,
So
bro.
clearly speaking, it's us doing these things, and then God's desires about how God should treat us send us to hell.
So you gonna just ignore Jesus right now? Like he don't love us and he died for us? Like, come on, man. Don't act like we don't got a free ticket to heaven. Everyone has a free ticket to heaven. And I hope you know that. Just by
I don't know, right?
accepting Jesus.
So do I deserve to go to eternal conscious torment because I don't know if a God
It ain't
exists or
about
not?
deserving. It's about your choice.
No,
What
no,
do you want?
dude. I want to go to a heaven,
Okay,
right?
so
But
it's
I
up to
don't
you.
currently believe. Does that
So
mean that
why?
I go
That
to
was the
eternal conscious?
only.
Why? Because I'm a rational human being, right? I require evidence to believe things. I don't just believe things on the whim of everything. Else, that's going to be the same thing as me believing that Zoe 101 created the universe, right? That fundamentally, I can hold a faith belief that says Zoe 101 did it, right?
Well, God said, "Ask and it is given; seek and you shall find." If you seek Him, I promise you, you will understand everything. Simple as that, bro. If there is a
I've asked questions I don't understand. So how do I
but you don't. But
It's
you
not
don't.
it's not just questions anymore. I used to have just questions. Now I have contradictions. I literally have like
There
straight
is
up
no
like God
contradiction.
prefers
It's
something that
just
is
lack
against
of
God's
understanding.
preference, or we expect a perfect creator to entail a perfect creation. There isn't a perfect creation, therefore it would say that there's not a perfect creator, right? Like realistically speaking, I'm
God is
just
a God.
honestly I'm not seeing a good way to hold this position. I would like to be able to rationalize it.
First things first, atheists, you guys don't even, because y'all don't give God his full glory. So that's the first issue right there. You don't believe that God made life. You don't believe that he made butterflies, waterfalls, and rainbows. You don't believe in these things. You only look at the bad that God has done, which is not even bad. You know what I'm saying? With just a punishment. And, it just puts you in a box because you don't know who God is, bro. So.
No, dude, like I'm literally saying that all of the suffering, the children dying of cancer, the children that are dying due to
Who go straight to heaven.
tornadoes, earthquakes, right, hurricanes. Lee, I appreciate the subscription. Thank you so much. The people that die of cancer, right? Every single person that you've known in your life that died of cancer, right? That didn't have to happen if this is true. Okay. That could have just never happened. We could have lived in a way better reality because no one ever sinned.
But
Right?
what about heaven?
And it was a perfect reality. That could have been the case. But then God, under your view, decides to create a reality where this happens when it wasn't necessary. If you were to hear that, you're telling me that if this God does exist, you're telling me that's a good God?
Yes, bro.
Clearly speaking, they just caused unnecessary pain and
Do you
unnecessary
not know
suffering
that-
to not only to you, not only to me, but to thousands of people in this chat.
Okay, but let me say
I
something.
think I appreciate that mustache. Thank you.
You do not understand that he is no evil. There's not 1 ounce of evil inside of God. It is the enemy. We are on the enemy's earth because of our decision as a human race to disobey God. We are here fighting against demons. That is what the
We would have
Bible
never
says.
done that if we were created perfect. Thank
We
you for that
were
mustache. I appreciate it.
until
Thank
we
you so much.
sinned.
No.
Eve,
That would no. Sin is a flaw, right? If we were flawless, we couldn't have engaged in a flaw.
We had
That's
free
a
will.
contradiction. You just contradicted yourself. You said that a flawless individual engaged in a flaw.
Bro, can you humble yourself like for 1 second, bro?
I am humble right now, right? You just contradicted yourself.
God did not make us flawed, bro. We became that way.
Then we wouldn't have
Free
sinned.
will.
Then Adam and Eve would not have sinned because that's
We
a
were
flaw.
tempted by the devil and we failed. We wasn't strong enough.
Okay, is God
No.
perfect?
Yes, he is
Is
beyond
Jesus perfect?
Absolutely.
Was Jesus tempted by the devil?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Did he ever fall to that temptation?
Absolutely not.
Okay, same thing would then be true if human beings were perfect. They would be tempted by the devil, but they would never succumb to
not
that
true.
temptation.
It's
They would
not
never
true.
fall to that temptation
'Cause
because
who-
they were perfect and because they would never sin.
Who is Jesus, first of all? Because you can't say that.
Jesus, under your view, is like part human, part God.
Yes, he is the Son of God. Okay? So obviously, the Son of God will not sin, regardless of anything. He died for our sins so we can get into heaven. Simple as that. Like literally, that is the only thing that we have to do is believe in Jesus and try our best to obey all of his commandments, and you're in heaven. Simple as that. There's nothing else that you have to do other than be baptized. And a lot of people, they just ignore this. They make it so hard to get into heaven. But I just lost
Thank you
my
for the night,
train of
Selma.
thought.
Thank you for all the gifts, everyone. I appreciate it, Scott. Thank you so much. So again, like the point is like very, very clear here. Like again, we don't live in a perfect world. Do you agree?
I mean, God said that obviously we live in a sinful world.
Or no, let me just talk about the first part, right? Adam and Eve, right? If they were flawless, can they sin?
Yes, obviously they sin.
Okay, if they're flawless and they can sin, that's a contradiction because again, they're flawless, but then they have a flaw.
Bro.
Or I mean, do they sin, right? If they did sin, then that would be the case that they exhibited a flaw when they were flawless. Is that not very clear in terms of the contradiction, that there's a flaw and that you're saying that they're flawless simultaneously?
No, it's
So
not.
how about I say the same thing back? Humble yourself, right?
Mhm.
Understand that this is a very clear contradiction. This is like very blatantly.
Bro, because you don't understand. You have to ask God first, and he will give you the answers. He says, seek and you shall find. God cannot lie. And I hope you know that. God can't lie. So anything that he said to do in the Bible, if you do it, you will receive what you're asking for. So if you...
Yeah, but we would have never done that if God created us this way.
Like I said, I never personally asked God, because I never really cared about that part. I only cared about him waking me up every day. So I overlooked.
How can we exhibit a flaw if we're flawless?
It's not a flaw. Like
sin isn't a flaw?
We was tempted by the serpent, and
is sin a flaw?
Like to God, yes, it's a flaw.
Yeah, so how can you exhibit a flaw if you are flawless?
Bro. Actually, the Bible never said that we were made flawless. We were made.
But again, right? God being perfect would entail that the things that God creates, because God's a perfect creator, would be perfect, right? So flawless creator entails flawless creation.
Can we switch topics? Because I'm not, too knowledge on this topic, and I don't want to lead anyone astray.
Sure. I'll ask you different questions, right? Do you think that? Thank you for the hearts. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Let's say that there's a P3DO, right, raping a child, right? And cops see this. They can stop it and they don't stop it. Do they do something wrong?
Yes.
So they should have stopped that action and taken that free will away from that P3DO.
Yes.
Okay. So God watches P3DOs rape children. God has the ability to stop it and God doesn't. Did God do something wrong?
No.
So why is it different? So rules for the cops, but not rules for God?
All right, do me a favor real quick, because I'm not because this like the same question. Can you just look it up on Google? Just be like, why did God allow Adam and Eve to sin? And I'm pretty sure Google would literally give you the answer. Literally, Google.
They're gonna say free will, right? But that doesn't answer the question. Okay?
No, they're not.
The question is that they can have free will and never be able to do evil because God is all knowing, all powerful, all good. That means God can actualize any possible world. There's a possible world where every human being never sins.
Listen, God is never wrong. We both lack understanding on why this happened. So we don't understand.
And is there a possible world where we do not lack understanding?
Bro, we are imperfect. Now, Jesus...
Chris, is there a possible world where we do not lack understanding?
A possible world where we do not... Why are you speaking like you speak clearly?
Is that not clear? A possible world? Like, what's not clear about that?
It's a weird question. Like, that we live in a world where a lot of people lack understanding.
Okay, but God can create an infinite set of worlds, right? Because there's an infinite set of actions that I could have engaged in, that you could have engaged in, that all the people throughout history could have engaged in, that were different from what they did. Like I could have decided to eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch this morning. I didn't, but I could have decided that. That's a possible world that could have been created. It's just the entire reality is the same. The only difference is that I ate Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Oh, but what about all the good that God does? Like I told you, I'm not strong on this specific topic because
Chris, I can acknowledge that. You can. I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm just saying, like, I wanted to address this earlier and I didn't. You can acknowledge all of the good that God does, but what a lot of Christians don't like to do is also acknowledge the bad.
It's not bad. We just lack understanding because it was other situations where I didn't understand why God did something until I understood it. Then it was like, okay.
So what do you understand now that tells you that it's okay for children to be dying of cancer?
Oh, so we are battling of the spirit, so as your mothers and your ancestors, as they sinned and they didn't repent, they are leaving doors open for you to be in that situation. Do that mean that God doesn't love you? No. God works miracles every day. It's just that is what it is. Now, we're not going to act like when kids die that they don't go straight to heaven. Now, let's not do that. So it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we all are going to die. But I would, you trying to paint God as evil when he's so good, bro. Like, please don't do that, bro. God is amazing, bro. Like, he is all good, you know? So from all the kids who have cancer and people who die in car crashes, like, bro, death is going to happen, bro. Like, we live in a world of sin. God has said this.
This is why we legitimate senses, right? Because if you don't judge based on your own Bible's teachings, it says to judge based upon the fruits. If the fruits are not good, then how could it be God? Clearly speaking, right, we see not good fruits here. We see allowing a reality, right, in which was not necessary to be able to reach the same goals that you could have met given God's characteristics. We can absolutely rationalize this. We can absolutely conceptualize this. It makes complete sense. There's no issue with going through this. People saying that this is just, human logic, human reasoning, we can't actually engage with the topic. That's simply them trying to remove your ability to question this ideology, right? That is common throughout history. That's been happening for thousands of years, where people just don't want to question their own belief system. Right. And we ought to question ourselves, and we are questioning ourselves more every single day because of social media and because of the internet, because we're communicating with each other, because we're seeing other people having different perspectives to us.
I hope you know that being a Christian sometimes is not easy. Like, it's so hard. I've been in Christians, most of the time they be in your shoes. Like, we have a lot of questions, but eventually they be answered, either by pastors or even by God himself. Like, you just wake up one day and you read and then you find out, oh, that's why God did that. Or, oh, it's all spiritual, bro. And I hope that one day you can, tap into that and actually feel God one day. Cause like, the Holy Spirit is real. There is thousands of people who can speak in tongues, bro. It's so much proof of God, miracles. They have miracle churches.
Wait, show me this proof, because again, I think these are just claims from religious people. I think these are people trying to recreate different types of positions that they have, preferences that they have. The same thing that's been done throughout all of history, right? People really want to believe things like this. I understand that, but I think that's inherently our superstitious nature in terms of trying to explain things that are unexplained, because it makes us feel uncomfy when things are not explained.
Bro, certain people, bro, rather, like, I've felt God multiple times, bro. Like, even since a child, I've talked to God. Like, it's been a natural thing for me. So other people, I understand that it's going to be hard for you, but God is real, bro. Like, at the end of the day, bro, God is good, and a lot of people, they just ignore the good things that he do. And you're one of them, bro. Like, I hate to say it. Like,
Chris, I've literally acknowledged that there are good things that under your view would happen from God. Right, but what you're not acknowledging is the bad things that exist. You're saying all of the good goes towards God. All of the bad does not go towards God.
It's not bad. You just have lack of understanding on it.
What do you mean lack of understanding?
Bro, there is a reason, whether we don't know it or not. There is a reason why God allowed it. There's a real reason for that. Whether you know it or not, you just don't have.
So what is limiting God from being able to create the reality in which human beings have free will and there is not evil?
You still lack the understanding, bro. Like,
what is limiting God? What is limiting God?
What is like what?
What could be limiting God from creating this logically possible world? There's nothing conceivable given God's characteristics. People say free will. Free will, again, the whole point is that they freely do the right thing. There's a set of logically possible worlds in which people with their free will choose to do different things. There is one logically possible world from the infinite set of the other logically possible worlds where every single individual that's ever existed on the planet never chose to do the bad thing. That is one of the possible worlds with all of the other possible worlds. If that is not a possible world, then you're indicating that people do not have the ability to only choose the right thing to do. Right. So clearly speaking, there is a possible world that God could create where, again, human beings only do the good thing. Right. So this is possible for God to actualize. There's no issue with God actualizing this world. The question that you're posing right there, you're just trying to stop the questions that I'm posing, or the questions that I'm talking about. You're not trying to interact with the statements. You're saying, oh, there could be a possible reason for these things. That's you saying that you don't want to engage with the fact that there is an issue here, that there is a contradiction.
But the Bible's like in the Bible there is a reason for all of these things. Like there literally is a reason. I haven't read it thoroughly, but I know God. So, but back to what I was about.
There's a reason somewhere in the Bible. No, there's not. There's really not.
I ask you this question right here, and I want to know like what's your response? Why do God love you so much? So according to my Bible, why do God love you so much? So much. Why do he know every hair on your body? Why do he have like a name for every hair on your body? Why did he make you? What is your purpose? Like according to my Bible, why do God love you so much? That's what I want to know.
Because we were created in the image of God. Right? God wants us to do the right thing. We have free will. Things like that.
So God loves you, bro. So
with the knowledge claim about the hairs, that's just because God's all knowing.
Yeah, bro, that's amazing, bro. Like, imagine coming from nothingness to something, and
so
then
you believe nothing created something?
Well, to me, because I don't know what type of realm God is in, so I can't even comprehend his power. So that's why I give him glory every day, because I'm just like excited, like for life. You know, like I wake up every day, and you know, God wakes me up every day, bro. So I'm just glad, bro. Yeah, bro.
Yeah. So like, you don't know how to explain it, right? But you think it explains everything. But again, the idea is that you're using that to not even question it.
Bro, I've questioned things so many times, bro.
No, you haven't. You haven't. I really like this is the question. This really is the question.
Listen to me. To have unbreakable faith like mine, as you see, no matter what.
Unbreakable faith just means you have confirmation bias.
Well, listen, to get to this point of consciousness, I have to fail a lot of times. You know, I'm not just speaking from my bad word, you see. I'm not just speaking, you know, this comes from trials and tribulations of doubting God, to believing again, to doubting him, to switching like religions, to doing manifest, bro, just doing a lot of things that's outside of him, to finally coming back once again. You see, God is so real, bro. Like, and why do you think it's so many people on earth who believes in the same God? Like, it's proof in our face. Like, it even says in the Bible, no matter what he shows you, you will always doubt him. So you have to, like, it's a free will thing, bro. You literally have to decide with your own. No one can make you believe. It's up to you. Like, and that's the whole thing. You have to believe, bro.
Yeah, so there are billions of people that believe in false religions under your view. Literally, billions of people believe in Islam, billion people believe in Hinduism, right? Billions of people around the world believe in false religions under your view. I'm just saying there are a few more billion.
Bro, spirituality is real, bro. That's why it's so many people who are like attached to them other like false religions, because it's led by Satan, bro. We are spiritual beings, and you can literally, bro, you can read ancient ancient scripts, bro, and it's lit, bro. They speak about witchcraft and these
claims that they're real. How do I know that they're real?
Oh, spiritual, bro. This is all real, bro. Like, it's in today.
Yeah, how do you know it's real?
Bro, you got people worshiping crystals and things like that. Like, this stuff is real.
Just because people worship it doesn't mean it's real. People worshiped animal spirits. That doesn't mean that they're real. People worship rocks. That doesn't mean that the rock is necessarily a god, right? People worshipped many things throughout history. It doesn't mean that they're real.
Exactly. So that's my point. Why do you feel that humans have a need to worship? Why is it so embedded in us to worship something. Where does that come
It's
from?
It's not to worship. It's because we're superstitious.
What?
I think we have a superstitious nature. We're trying to explain things that are unexplained, and we feel comfort in having an explanation for things. We're just seeking comfort there. That's where the superstitious nature comes from.
Why do we need comfort so much? Why
we relate that probably with our other experiences in life. Right? Like we seek comfort because biologically speaking, comfort is something that allows us to engage socially, which increases our likelihood for survival.
Are you serious right now?
Yeah, unironically.
God is our comfortable, bro. That is why people can't be comfortable, because they need God, bro. It's in plain sight, bro. People are worshiping animals, sacrificing pigs, cows, and worshiping crystals because they need God, bro. God fills your void. God makes you feel like a child again. God is good, bro. You have to know him and you have to worship him, bro. And yeah, that's the answer.
No, these people don't need a God, right? What these people need is the placebo effect. That's what it is, right? That's why you see people who are able to get
that things are going to.
Thank you for the hat mustache. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Due to religions and stuff like that, it's because there's a notion of placebo. They think that everything is going to be okay with them. They think that they're going to get through this because of the optimism that they have. Right, that's why they tell people to be optimistic when it relates to like their hospital stays and stuff like that. Because ultimately speaking, being down with things increases the likelihood of something bad happening to you. And we see this within our lives as well, right? Like we see people who are. Thank you for the hand. I appreciate it. We see people who are doing bad, right, and thinking really badly, continuing to do that, and it continuing to get worse for them. So obviously, if you think more optimistically, right, clearly speaking, you're going to feel better.
Okay, so since you want to go off of biological and why humans, do certain things, fill voids, so if you want to speak in terms like that, why do you think our bodies our brains are capable of believing something without seeing it? If we go off of what we see for the past thousands of years.
Okay, when people were listening to radio, when they were playing, like listening to baseball being played, did they believe what was happening in the game without seeing it?
Well, you have commentators.
But did they believe what was happening in the game without seeing it?
Bro, they had to because of the commentators. But that's all like
they didn't have to.
Bro, that's in like the last 1,000 years, bro. I'm talking about why is it like we can't just biologically change that quick to have that ability. This takes years of, I don't know the word.
I don't know what you mean by that. What do you mean it takes what?
It takes years for our like biological, bro. What am I trying to say here? Evolution. Yes, it takes years for evolution to happen in that way, bro. So I don't, you know what I'm saying, bro?
And the Earth is 4.6 billion years old.
Hang on, bro. When it comes to God, bro, there's no breaking you, bro. So hey, I can't keep.
What do you mean there's no breaking? If you give me a good argument, I would accept it. I actually want these things to be true. Thank you for the cap. I appreciate it. There's just no way I can rationalize it.
Bro,
there's seriously no way.
Like, how is this not enough, bro? No one knows how we are here. No one knows.
Yeah, no one knows. So then why do you make conclusions about it?
The creator gave us a life manual script. And no one, like, that's not enough.
Wait, no, if a creator actually left a manual script for us to do this, when they came to the planet, how come they didn't write it down themselves on a piece of paper that glows, that floats off the ground, that can't be fucking ripped, that you can't even erase, you can't do anything to? That would tell me that God exists. Why is God hiding it?
See,
why did God let it get translated 3 different times before it gets to the language that I read it here today?
So because you lack understanding on why he didn't do it to satisfy your needs, you're going to just say that he isn't real. No,
I'm saying that God did not give us good enough reason, if that God does exist, to believe that they do exist.
Enough reason.
No,
God,
they have not.
What happened in the last days? What is happening? Like, what more do you need, bro? Why is the
the Euphrates River has dried multiple times throughout history. If that was the indication of the end of of the end times, it would have happened already.
It didn't dry completely, and it
did. It literally did.
Not completely, bro.
Yes, it did. I can send you sources.
Bro, no, that's
Jojo, I
cap.
appreciate the roses. Thank you.
Listen, why do you think that the mainstream media is pushing Satanists like so much? Out of all like religions,
Why do you think the mainstream media is pushing Christianity? Why do you think that imperialism led to the spread of Christianity and Catholicism? Why do you think that there's
Like,
imperialism around the world?
how
Like
many
you're
times
asking,
do you
what do you
need?
what are you talking about?
What more do you need, bro? Like, bro, it's in your face, bro. Like, it's nothing else that God can do, bro. Like, you just have to seek, bro. Just read the
I
word,
just have to just believe without evidence.
bro. Like, if
Like
you go
Chris,
to a
this
church,
is
bro,
the ultimate trust me, bro. Right? It's
it's
you're saying,
not,
bro,
bro.
please, man, please just trust me, dude. I'm serious, man. Just trust him, please, man.
That's how God
Trust me,
works.
bro.
That's
Thank you for the
literally
crown. I
how He
appreciate
works.
it. Thank you. Like in
Bro,
any other
this,
circumstance with any other source, we'd be like, oh my gosh, this is absurd reasoning. I'm
bro,
not
you
going to just
wouldn't even
trust you.
believe
I need
if
the
you love
evidence, right?
exploding
But when it
friends.
relates to this circumstance, then we accept the trust me, bros.
Listen, you don't even believe supernatural anyway. So even if Jesus was
Yeah.
in the sky today, you still wouldn't believe.
Well, if Jesus was in the sky
You
right
would
now,
have
came
said,
down to
"Oh,
me,
that's the chief."
if Jesus wants to come on the live, right? We can prove to everyone.
Bro,
I'm
you
serious.
still wouldn't even believe that.
I would
No,
seriously.
you wouldn't. Stop the cap.
Clearly, I would.
Bro, you don't believe in anything, bro.
There are ways that you could prove to me a God exists.
No, it's
Clearly
not.
speaking,
No,
there
it's not.
literally are, right?
There's not. I'm telling you, bro. Like, it's literally, bro.
There's not. I have a standard of evidence, dude. Thank you for the hint. I appreciate it.
That's cap, bro. Even if Jesus knocked on
God
your
could put himself in front of us, all of everyone on the planet right now,
bro,
and say, hi, I love you.
die,
I'm here. What's up?
face to face, you still wouldn't believe it. Like, bro,
What are you talking
have
about?
an excuse for everything. Like, bro, I'm just like
Chris, how do you know that?
Because look at what you're saying.
Me
You are-
having responses, me questioning my reality, that's somehow a bad thing, right?
It's not, bro. Religion goes back
Bro.
in everyone's DNA since the beginning of time. Since the beginning of time, bro. Like, bro, it's so much evidence, bro. And no matter how much evidence you see, you will always say, no, that's just that reason. No, it just made up. No matter what God shows you.
Bro, I promise I'm not going to do that, bro.
Listen, bro. Like, we literally
Bro, I
have
promise.
enough. We have enough evidence, bro. We do.
Bro, what are you talking about? I don't think that we have enough evidence, bro.
We have miracles on video. And see, that's my proof right there. You're going to call them miracles fake. You are.
What miracles?
Bro,
what
there's
miracles, bro?
videos
Seriously,
of
bro,
crippled
seriously,
people.
what miracles?
There are videos of crippled people getting prayed over and then walking in seconds. And you're going to deny that.
So can we, no, like is...
See, I told you.
No, I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to try to clarify the statement, bro. Nope. Come on, bro. Like, please let me do it. So... we have to have the ability to say that prior to these circumstances that they were in this state, and then because of this particular circumstance, it then led them out of the state. So there should be an ability for us to engage in this particular type of behavior and then produce, thank you for the confetti, I appreciate it, thank you so much, produce people who can walk now. Right. So people who are disabled, right, they would go to all of these churches and they would just walk out and they wouldn't be disabled anymore.
I told you, bro. No matter what I say, bro, you're just gonna say the opposite, bro. I told you, bro.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I think there would be a lot more people going to these places if they worked.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro, it's so many people on earth who are saying, God has saved me. There's been house fires and everything burned but the Bibles. And you still
there are people. There are things in which don't burn in some circumstances and you would never even look at it if it wasn't a Bible.
I just say that no matter what I say.
Thank you for that mustache, appreciate it. Because you're like, this is not no matter what. These things are just things that can happen in reality. It's not like a God came in front of me, had a fucking conversation with me, explained the ins and outs of the universe. There are things about my life that a God could say that I know nobody else in the world could possibly know. So I would know that it's God just because they knew it about my childhood, because no one else would know that.
Well, let's just say I was in your live by like a month ago and there was this tarot card reader person and she read your past and you was like, oh, that did happen. So is she God?
Particularly? It was like what?
Bro, she said something and you was like, oh, that's kind of crazy. Like, bro, you don't believe nothing.
Oh, they said my grandpa's name was Richard, but Richard is, I found out this later, Richard is a very common name for that time period.
Wow.
They were naming common names.
Bro, everything that I say, you have an excuse. Like, bruh. Like, you just literally exposed yourself, bro. I just said supernatural thing after supernatural thing, and you literally just came up with an
You
excuse.
literally think tarot is demonic,
Listen,
bro.
bro,
Like, what are you
that
talking
proves my
about?
point. That proves my point. That
It literally does not prove any point.
even if God walked down your street and
Dude,
shook the
it's like
earth,
no. If I
you
made a
would've said,
claim,
"Oh,
if
wait
I made a
a minute."
claim that there's going to be a woman president in the future, does that mean that I have supernatural understanding of the world because I predicted it?
Bro, but I gave you enough, bro. There's
No. I'm
countless-
giving you enough right now to believe that I'm supernatural. Okay.
What?
Yeah, I'm supernatural, right? I just predicted that there's going to be a woman president in the future. I'm supernatural because it's going to be true. I'm supernatural, bro.
Bro,
I predicted it. Yo, thank you for the hot mustache. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
I'm gonna just pray for you, bro, because
That's the same reasoning that you just provided me. Do you not see that?
it's not though.
It
Like,
literally is, bro.
if I just told you that there's
Bro.
miracle video, like, how is that not enough, bro? It's up to you to just believe it. Like at that point, like, even if God showed itself, it's still up to you to believe it, and you don't understand that.
Thank you for the
Even
corgi. I
on
appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, how about this? If
even
God
on
right now, I'm not even
you gotta
joking.
believe
I'm
it.
not Chris, do this with me. If God literally shows up in front of me right now, and says something about my childhood to me right now, I will believe right now that no one else could have possibly known. I will believe right now. Thank you for the superpower. I appreciate it. I will go on live every single day and I will argue this every day. I will believe.
Well, just ask him, bro. He says, "Seek and you shall ask, and it is given." Seek.
I've asked many times throughout my life.
Well, you do know that there is a way that you have to ask.
And what is that?
You have to first. You got to start off the prayer because you have to pray. You have to start it off with giving him thanks and showing him glory. So you give him his glory, and then you ask, and then you give him another thanks, and then you say amen. That is how you properly ask God for something. You don't just yell at him, God, well, just show me. It's not how it works. He is all holy and he created us. So you better show some respect. That's the least you can do because you're alive every single day by him specifically. You see?
Wait,
So-
who's to say I didn't already do that, man? I know people who have done that.
Do it
I've
the
done
right
that.
way, bro. Don't ever question.
I
God.
don't understand. I don't understand how I didn't.
Because there's other people who have seen them and who literally seen them. So, and you choose not to believe that.
Thank you for the duck. I appreciate it. Thank you so
That's
much. And there
up
are
to you,
people
bro.
there are people who claim that they've seen the god from Norse paganism. There are people who claim that
So-
they've seen Greek gods. There are people who claim that they've seen spirits from other religions, like Prophet Muhammad having a spiritual experience with the angel Gabriel. You understand that there are claims of spiritual experiences that you
Okay.
think are false.
Okay, so you see how you just discarded all of that, right? So even if God showed up,
I use
to you
reason
right
in your
now,
own position to
if
discard
God
things that
showed
you
up
already
to you-
discard.
if God showed up to you right now and told you your future, you still wouldn't believe it. You would just call it I'm just having a mental trip right now. It's literally nothing that God can do because you literally will have a answer. And
Wait, Chris, I gave you away. If God told me something about my past that no one else could know about my past, right? It came in front of me right now. I would believe and I would come on here every single day. That is a thing. Is that not a thing?
But listen, somebody else or even you would be like, no, I'm just tripping. It was probably my own brain making up this excuse because I am the only one.
They can join my live and say it in front of everyone, the 3,000 people.
But that's not how God works, bro. And
Oh,
he can't do
now
that.
God just doesn't
Look,
work
he
that way.
can't do that,
Okay,
bro. I'm not.
So
letting
yeah,
God-
so God just now doesn't work that way. He just doesn't
can't
want to do it.
that, bro. You have to ask him correctly, come in the right time, and yeah, bro, just do it the right way. Like God.
How do I do it correctly? How can I do it better than I am right now?
I just told you, bro. I literally just gave everyone.
So should we
way-
just pray right now and do it? Thank you for the sunglasses.
Yes,
I appreciate it.
please. God will be very pleased with me. Yes, please do that. Pray. Everyone pray. Oh, so you want me to say the prayer? Okay. Bow your heads. Dear Lord, our Creator, thank you for life. God, I ask that you show everybody in your own time, in your way, maybe like another day on this live. I don't control you, Father, but I please ask that you please show everyone that you are real and that you come in the flesh, Lord, because they do not believe in anything. Show them with undeniable truth so that they do not question you another day in their life, Lord. Let this be true. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you. Thank you. Amen. Amen. You see?
So
Now-
is it gonna happen?
Yes, because I am expecting it as his son, and I'm obeying the way that he told us to pray. So
Okay.
yeah, it will happen. And probably
All right,
not
for sure, man.
the day. Yeah, bro. Hope you find God, bro. Thanks for putting me on the live. And being gay is immoral. That's why you got it up there.
Yeah, but
Yes.
we have no justification for the position. So
It is,
if
bro.
we
It's
have no
disgusting.
justification for
AIDS.
the position, then how can we say
AIDS
that being
came
gay is
from being
immoral
gay.
if the position isn't justified to grant that?
Having AIDS came from being gay. So hey,
Can
that's
you give me
enough
evidence of that? And it did not.
It did.
Give
bro.
me evidence right now.
It did, bro.
Give me evidence. No, that's not true.
Bro, I can just say scientists said
It's literally not true.
I learned that growing up. That
And you were wrong. You learned wrong. That is not true.
Nah, but that's true, bro.
It is literally not true. It came from chimpanzees, particularly within Africa, right? That is not true at all.
Nah, bro, but for some reason, male couples tend to spread it quicker than any other race. I mean, than any other couples. So that's all I gotta say, bro.
What's up?
All right.
Say that again.
Male couples tend to spread it quicker than anybody else.
So they have it at a higher rate, so that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Wow.
There are other
So
types of
why is that?
hold up. There are other types of STDs in which are spread more prevalent among straight couples comparative to gay couples.
Well, sexual immortality, that points back to another thing
Immortality?
that God said don't do. Sexual
Thank you, Robbie. I
immortality.
appreciate the 10 month. Thank you very much.
You see, bro, everything that we do that is not for God, it has consequences. Somehow, right? But you're going to come up with another reason once again. Like I said, there's no way that you will ever believe unless you decide to, bro. And that just
I've given you multiple ways in which it can be the case.
But that's not true because all you're going to
I
say
literally
is
did.
it's a
I did.
hallucination.
Thank you, Danny. I appreciate the subscription.
Do you
Thank you
not
very
know,
much. I
bro,
appreciate it. No,
that we
they can
have-
come on live in front of 3.6 thousand people.
Bro, but people
God,
will
right now.
still
God can
doubt.
do it right now.
Can you answer this question?
God can
Will
show up on the
people-
live for everyone listening.
Can you give me this answer, bro? Will people
I don't even have to
still-
add him. God can just show up in the box.
Will people still doubt God even if it was in their face? Is it possible to still
If
doubt
I
God?
didn't add God and God came in and proved that, I think that's literally like that. That is very good proof. That is literally undeniable. I'm not joking.
Will people doubt that? If God got on the live and told us both to be quiet, will people doubt that? Is it possible that anybody
Thank
in
you,
this
Danny.
live
I appreciate this
can doubt
description.
that?
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Not if we can record it.
Huh?
Not if we can record it.
Bro. See how you just want to lie right there? So you can lie like about that part, but you
Bro,
won't-
what do you mean lie, bro? I'm not lying
Bro.
for shit.
Can people doubt something that was plain in their face? Is that possible?
I don't think anyone in the chat's gonna doubt that if that happened. If God
Bro,
literally
why are you
fucking joined
denying
in
the question?
and
Like,
proved
literally.
something about me, thank you for the hand, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, that would, yeah.
Okay, you just answered my question. Thank you, bro. It is possible to doubt something that is literally.
Trap,
in your
thank you
face.
so much. I appreciate the description. Thank you so much.
You know, like it's so many people, bro. Who now there are some crazy people, but there's some Christians who've actually seen God and they would just call them crazy, bro. You know, so like that is enough proof. Like for me, bro, there's nothing that you can see, that you can hear, you will never believe, bro, until that judgment day, bro. And that's just what it is, bro. Like I don't know how to, I'm just gonna ask God for you, bro. But like literally, bro,
Are you
even if
condemning
God-
me?
Even if God was to join this,
Wait, no,
chat,
Chris, are you condemning
you
me?
still wouldn't.
Are you condemning me?
Like I said, bro, I'm far from perfect, bro. Maybe I am. I'm not trying to, but bro, like literally, bro.
Chris, are you condemning me right now?
Bros.
I think you technically are, right? You're saying that I'm
never.
never going to believe, which is essentially condemning me because that means I'm going to go to hell, right? So you're essentially condemning me right now. You know your book says not to do this, right?
Do I have control over you, bro, or what? Like,
Chris, you're condemning me right now.
so now you want to be a little kid and not be a grown man? Are you serious right now?
How am I being a little kid?
So I can send you to hell off my words? Are you serious right now?
No, you condemning me, right, is literally against your own book. You understand that, right? That's literally what your own book
know
says.
that is why Jesus died for us, because nobody could keep the commandments perfectly.
Okay, but you're literally saying I'm going to hell.
I said there's
condemning.
no way for you to believe at this point. So I just
Yeah,
pray
which
for
is saying I'm going to hell.
bro. You will see Jesus very soon, bro. I just pray for everybody in this live, bro. So
Yeah, that's been said for the past 2,000 years.
bro, I just pray for you, bro. As a child of God, bro, you will receive this prayer, bro, and you will see God, bro. So, like, bro, I don't know, like, what more, you know what I mean? But yeah, bro, Being gay is immoral. God is real, and that is the truth, bro. Like, there's nothing else to it, bro.
So the only way I can get evidence of this is if I just have an experience, bro.
Like, even a logical person who isn't religious, they know that being gay is not the path. Like, it's not.
What's wrong with being gay from an outside perspective, outside of the context of God?
Okay, outside of God, there is no procreation before it was possible to take other people's babies. Like, literally, bro, we are giving away babies and people think that it is okay. It was never.
Wait, giving away. Say that again. What?
People are giving away babies to
like
people
adoption?
who can't make babies.
Adoption?
I'm talking about people who want newborns because they can't procreate.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
That is disgusting, bro. That's not how. That is
how
not
is that
how
disgusting?
Because everybody needs a family. It's in our DNA to have a mother and a father who takes care of us. When you have two dads,
you don't know. It doesn't have to. They're the same outcomes with gay and lesbian relationships in terms of child development as when it relates to straight development. No, that actually is the case. There's large scale studies on this that go over multiple different generations, like over the past 40 plus years, right? That literally show that they're the same outcomes, if not better, for same sex couples.
Well, congrats to those parents. It still isn't right because I believe that if I didn't have my dad or if I didn't have my mother, something would be wrong with me in a way that I wouldn't want. You know, like, I don't know. If I grew up with two dads, wouldn't that probably make me gay?
No, like, no. My sister grew up with
like another man.
Hold up, Chris.
Grabbing his butt, and bro, I'm gonna become like that.
No, you're not. No, that's not. Oh my god, dude.
No, that is what happens.
Stop. No, you literally see two gay people and you just become gay. That doesn't make any sense.
If you grow up,
for example, Chris, my sister grew up in a household with my mom and my dad. My dad works all the time. My mom, stay-at-home mom, traditional conservative Christian household in Iowa, right? That's what we grew up in. And both my sisters are both bi. Can you explain that?
Yes, a mental illness. Pray for it. And
so now it's just mental illness whenever it's the circumstance. How do you say that?
How do you
they grew up in a household where everyone was straight. They were taught to be straight.
I'm finished to look. Can I explain it? This goes back to my claims of being a Christian. There has been gay people who have prayed to God and stopped being gay. How do you explain that?
No, they don't stop being gay. They just stopped. No, trust me. I've talked to a lot of people who say that.
You haven't
they literally, they're still gay. They're still gay. They just run from their quote unquote temptations, which means essentially they're just running away from the fact that they're gay. They're suppressing it.
Whoever you're talking to, then God didn't free them from it completely. Then the one that I talked to, they didn't even have urges for another. Same gender. So how do you explain that?
It's literally the repression.
What?
Yeah, wow. It's a trauma response.
Wow, I told you, bro. You have an answer for everything, bro. Like, it literally don't make sense, bro.
What doesn't make sense with the answer I just gave you?
That is a miracle, bro. They didn't want to be gay.
That is not a miracle,
bro. They literally prayed to God to stop being gay, and God freed them from it.
It's literally them psychologically speaking suppressing their own sexuality because again it is the case that they think it's wrong because of their religious convictions.
I guess I can't speak upon that anymore. But another reason
the feather flock, I appreciate. Thank you so much.
Another reason why you shouldn't be gay. So you're trying to tell me that if you grow up as a child and you see your dad kissing on another man that you won't think, because I'm
not going to be like, I want to be gay. No, I'm still going to be straight.
Every child looks up to what's in their household. You are raised. Do you know what the word?
And why isn't my sister straight?
Because your dad was always at work and your mother, who knows, bro? Like you just said it. They was never.
Yeah, my dad would come home. My dad literally was home. It's not like he was never there.
Bro. Were you raised to the perfection of how we are supposed to be raised? Yes or no?
What do you mean by supposed to be raised? I grew up in a Christian household. What's up?
Were you in your family having dinner time every night and family game board days and going out to eat every other day and having like a lot of
every other day going out, but yeah, we ate dinners, we prayed, we would go to church twice a week.
So you were raised as a normal family would be raised.
A Christian conservative household in Iowa. Yeah, traditional setup.
Well, they were probably by because of the mental illness that was indoctrinated by, obviously, our life today.
Oh my God, bro. So like, why isn't being straight mental illness?
What was that?
Why isn't being straight mental illness?
Because it's natural for us to procreate with the opposite sex.
It's natural to engage in gay intercourse as well. That exists in nature.
That's not natural. If you go
What
back,
do you mean by natural?
they called it, but why would they call it mental illness?
What do you
Not even
mean by
like
natural?
100 years ago, why was they calling gay?
Chris, what do you mean by natural?
Bro, oh, so you gonna pull that card, bro? Are you serious?
Yeah, what do you mean by the term natural? I mean exists in nature. What do you mean?
Bro, oh my God, bro. Natural is natural, bro. Like the way
You can't
that
define it. That's unbelievable.
bro, cause like it's undefinable. Like it's really
It's not. What do you mean undefinable?
male and female create.
I just defined it. It exists in nature.
Okay, what I mean by natural is
Dude, undefinable.
the X
I can't do it.
chromosome. Okay, listen, this is what I mean. The X and the Y chromosome, bro. Yin and yang. It ain't yang and yang. It ain't yin and yin. It ain't Adam and Steve. It's the other way around, bro. It's a woman and a man, and that is how life's supposed to be. If you can't live that way, like I said,
That's
you can
literally
be gay,
just
bro.
your own Christian talking point, right? Like, what is
Listen,
natural?
You can be gay, bro.
I'm
It's
asking,
just-
yo, Chris, I'm asking you, what does natural mean, right? And you're monologuing
just
about
told you.
what you think should. So you're saying what should be the case? You just mean what
That is
what
the
is
case.
moral?
That's why
So
you're
by
here.
natural, you just mean it's moral to be straight.
Are you naturally here or no?
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate the cowboy
Were
hat.
you naturally born?
Yes, I was naturally born.
Okay, so listen, you were naturally born by
But
a
I was
man and a
born
woman.
through processes that exist within nature, right?
Yeah, in nature, bro.
Yeah.
Do you not believe in mental illness at all? Like,
I do believe in mental illness.
so what the bro? You finna make me mad, bro. That don't even make sense. I call
How
it
does
a
that not
mental
make
illness.
sense? You're getting
Bro,
mad at
so you're
yourself.
basically saying that it is natural to have a mental illness, right?
Yeah.
So mental illness is nature, or
Yeah,
is
it's
it a
natural.
chemical? Bro,
Thank you. I appreciate
mental
appreciate the cap. Thank you so much.
oh my goodness, bro. We just going in circles, bro. Like, I guess you just want to be, acting crazy on her, bro. Like, it don't matter.
I'm acting crazy right now.
Bro, that don't make sense, bro. You just said that being gay is natural.
Yeah, it literally.
So you
fucking
also
is.
saying that us killing people, so having cancer, all of these things that you say, why did God? So this is all natural.
Yeah.
School. Okay. So shooting up a school is natural.
That's
a
not
fucking nature.
natural. No, because that's human.
Okay, then perfect. Finally, you named something that isn't natural.
Yeah, but whether or not
Mental
something's
illness is not
natural,
natural, bro.
hey, dude, I don't know why you're thinking this is crazy. I don't think natural means good, right? What I think natural means is exists in nature.
Bro. But being gay is a act. Shooting up a school is a act.
What does natural mean? Tell me what natural means.
Bro,
Does it just mean good?
this mean yin and yang. I
Does
just
natural
said
just
that.
mean good? It just natural just means good, right?
No, it mean yin and yang, bro. Yin and yang.
What the fuck does that mean, dude? What?
Because you won't understand. If I say it just mean good, you're gonna
What are you
ask me
doing,
1,000
bro?
questions
The
and I'm
fuck
gonna
is wrong
sound
with you?
dumb. Because, bro, like I just explained it, bro. Yin and yang, a woman and a man creates me. You see, like if you try to do anything other
Okay,
than
a
that,
man engages in intercourse. Thank you for the love. You, I appreciate it. A man engages in intercourse with someone who's infertile, right? Who's a woman. Okay, right? Is that immoral?
absolutely, bro. That was a kid, bro. Like absolutely.
What? I said a man engages in
Oh.
intercourse with a woman who's infertile.
Bro, well, she gotta pray to God to have babies or go get checked out to try to re-fertilize her eggs. But if she can't have the babies, then that's when you probably just go like I don't
Now,
like,
is
hey,
it immoral for the man who's fertile to engage in intercourse with the infertile woman that he's married to?
wait, what?
Is it immoral for the man who is fertile to engage in intercourse with the woman who is infertile who he's married to?
Do you not understand that being infertile isn't even natural? Like that is a chemical imbalance that should never happen, bro. So unfortunately,
Dude, I'm sorry,
bro,
Chris.
bro,
Dude, what is
like,
going on,
why are
bro?
you
I'm
using
sorry.
that statement? Like,
Because
that's kind
Chris,
of
you just
unfair,
you
bro.
just said refertilize your eggs, dude. What the fuck does that mean? What do you mean
Bro, do
refertilize
you
the
not
eggs?
get? Do you not get?
What fertilizes the eggs is the
Do you
sperm,
not
bro.
get that none of these problems was a thing, bro? Not being gay, having eggs that aren't fertilized, bro. All of these things wasn't a problem until we sinned, bro. But let me just not bring that in. You know what I'm saying? My bad, like, for bringing that back up. But let me just say it, bro. That is not natural, bro. For a
No,
woman to not,
dude, come on, man.
for
What
her
is it?
eggs not to be working,
No,
bro.
Chris,
That's a
tell me what it
problem,
means to refertilize eggs, please. Tell me.
bro. I don't even, cause, bro, I'm not a neurologist, bro. I'm not a scientist, bro. You see what I'm saying?
Dude, I can tell, man. Holy shit. Dude, that is
Obviously,
fucking
you are, bro.
unbelievable. Dude, I'm clearly not a scientist, but like I know that that's
No,
wild, dude. That's wild. Come on, you took
I
sixth
guess you
grade
went to
biology.
bro. Bro, we didn't, my school didn't learn about that, okay?
Your school didn't learn about biology?
Bro, we didn't learn about the topic of refertilizing eggs that isn't,
You
I
don't
mean,
no, you don't
no,
refertilize
I
eggs.
know,
No, come on.
I am kind of sounding goofy on here, but bro, that ain't what I meant. I don't even know the word that I'm trying to search for because I never looked into this in this type of depth. But at the end of the day, bro, like,
Oh my god.
bro, is like, it don't matter what I say, bro. That's why I'm starting to sound dumb on here because I'm trying to come up with things.
I'm sorry, dude. That was the first one. The refertilized eggs things really got to me, dude.
Because you keep shutting down everything with your own, like,
Reasoning?
belief system that most people just take on because they don't know, like, the true answer. You know, you just
What makes you think you do?
Bro, because I got the book of life beside me right now that gives me the answer.
I do too.
Yes,
I got the
bro.
Bible too.
You know, I have a firm belief, and I actually talk to God a lot, and you know, like, I have my days, bro. You know, I've had experiences where they were just unexplainable, you know, but only true believers can have these experiences. You see, you have to tap into this type of, you know, world, bro. You have to seek for God, bro. You know, and like, dude, like, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Like, you just need to find him, bro. Like,
you're just like saying I need to find him. You're not really like giving like a coherent process in which I would actually be able to follow through with that. Kevin R, I appreciate the subscription. Ember, I appreciate the resistance. You said that we could pray and I'll receive it. So maybe sometime I will receive something from God that will prove to me and prove to everyone in the chat, right, that God exists, because that's what we prayed for, right? But what happens when the prayer never gets answered?
well, you didn't pray right.
You mean you didn't pray right? Because you
What do you
prayed.
mean?
Remember, you did the prayer?
Didn't I say, God, you can show them on your, because God say, do not test the Lord thy God. So you can't test them, but you got to be
No,
faithful.
you didn't pray right. Mary, I appreciate the subscription. Thank you so much.
How, though?
Remember,
'Cause
you're the
God-
one that prayed.
God isn't just some type of animal. He don't just, yes, sir. You know?
Yeah, so then why'd you pray and ask him for that if you know that he's not
I
going to
asked
answer
God
it?
to, you know, show you that he's real. How do, like, I don't command God.
And you know God's not going to do it, right?
No, he definitely is, for sure. I got faith
I
in
appreciate
him.
that mustache. Thank you so much.
And I prayed the
He
right
definitely
way.
is. Okay, so okay, thank you for the hat mustache. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So if it is the case that it doesn't happen, did you just not pray right?
Maybe, honestly. Because there's been times when I did pray and it did come true, and then there's been other times where it just never happened until years later. You know, like, you know, God works in like mysterious ways. He don't just.
So, but like every prayer you've ever asked for has been answered.
Yes, bro. It has.
Thank you for the hand drop. I appreciate every single one.
Yeah.
Can you pray for me to win the lottery right now?
I ain't gonna lie. I don't have faith in that prayer, so it's not gonna work.
Why not?
It's all about faith. God said that when you ask him for something, to expect it because he is your father. You see, I don't like expect that one because I don't have like enough faith for that yet. One day, maybe I will. You see? So I'm not even gonna waste my time.
Okay. But like he's gonna answer every single one. So
Yes,
if it
all
does
the ones
happen to be the case that he doesn't answer one of your prayers, would
all
you
the
not
ones
believe
that I
anymore?
prayed correctly and prayed rightly and, you know, did it, you know, prayed the way that he told me to pray, yes, they will be answered.
Thank you for the hand drop. Appreciate it. Every single one.
Every single one.
Do
All
you
of them.
ever like anything you could pray for?
I can pray for anything. God said that He is not limited, but He can do all things. All things.
So why don't you pray for people to not starve to death?
Because I have to work on my faith, bro. Soon as I have like enough faith, bro, like anything is possible.
How do you rank
God
up your
is not the
faith?
issue. Me. We have, bro. I hope you know that we have always been the issue, and God is just working with us day by day.
How do you rank up your faith, bro? Thank you for the hand, I
Oh,
appreciate it.
so to rank up your faith, you have to go through these trials of, just like what you're going through. It's so hard for you to like believe, but the more and more that you understand God, the better your faith. Talking to someone builds like your faith up. If you don't know God, how can you be confident that He would answer you? You see, if I talk to God every day, I'm pretty sure that I would know Him enough to have enough faith that He would say yes. It is a slow spiritual walk, bro. And a lot of Christians, bro, they can tell you the same thing, bro. Bro, I promise you, you won't lose anything becoming a Christian. You will only gain peace, bro. More peace than, you know what I mean? It's so weird because people who don't even need peace, quote unquote, they
wait, Chris, my friend AJ, he turned to God and he went through way less peace whenever he turned.
Like I said, bro, it's going to be
turned
hard,
toward
bro.
God.
But you got to keep going, bro. It's like you have to read the word, bro. Like it literally speaks, like upon things like that. When you are going through spiritual warfare, bro, you won't be at peace, bro. But as soon as you get through it, bro.
Thank you, James. I appreciate the
You're gonna be at
subscription.
so
Thank
much
you. I
peace.
appreciate the bread. Thank you.
That's why going to church is really good for you. Because they really give you understanding on what is, why,
Chris, do you believe in the flood?
The flood? Absolutely.
You do, right? Do you think there were babies that existed at the time?
Absolutely.
Thank you. I appreciate the Knight's helmet. Thank you so much. Do you think that there's an age of accountability?
I never asked God this, so I'll be lying to you. But I'm pretty sure yes. Well, actually, no. We are born into sin immediately. But yeah.
So okay, so if babies that are aborted, do they go to hell?
No, because they didn't even do anything yet.
They go to heaven, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So there is an age of accountability. There's a point in which they become accountable. Okay, so these babies, they're innocent babies, and God flooded them, right?
And they went to heaven, bro.
Thank you, Andrea. I appreciate the subscription. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So let me ask you about this. Like, say that your kid had to die. As a loving parent, would you rather that your kid be drowned, or would you rather them be poofed out of existence?
I would probably want them to be poofed, only because I don't want them to be, hurting or anything.
Yeah, right. We don't want them to hurting, right? So and you'd expect that from a loving parent, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So God had the ability to either poof them out of existence or drown them, but God decided to drown them.
But where did they go afterwards, bro? Like, that's like.
But God could have just poofed them to heaven. So it seems like unnecessary that God drowned them.
Bro, but that's like saying this. You went through hell for about 80, 70 years and then you died. But after that, you had everlasting peace forever. Like, it don't even matter what you go through here.
No, it does. It does because it wasn't necessary. Like Chris, like for example, here I'll give you this idea.
Can I just say this first because I don't want to forget this.
Okay.
The Bible says this: the suffering that you are going through now is not in comparison with the glory that is to be revealed to you. So no matter what you are going through now, it is not compared to the glory that is to be revealed. So heaven is so good, bro. It's so good that you won't even think about anything that you went through. So no matter what you try to make life seem so bad, this, that, God wakes you up every day, bro. And I hope that you can just see through that. But back to what you were saying.
Yeah. So let's say that there was two different pills that your kid could take. They have an illness. One of the pills cures their illness. The other pill cures the illness, but then also gives them permanent back pain. Right? Mm-hmm. Which do you think it would be immoral to give them the pill that gives them permanent back pain and cures them over the pill that just cures them?
Bro, I can literally say the same thing. But obviously, I want them to just give them the pill that cures them. But this isn't heaven yet. So, according to my beliefs, like, all this suffering that we are going through now is just not in comparison of what is to be revealed to us. So all the questions that I have for God,
let's walk back. What was the question?
Bro, you said, would I give them the pill to cure them or the pill to make them suffer forever? Right?
No. There's two different pills. They have an illness. There's two different pills. One pill cures them. The other pill cures them, but it gives them permanent back pain. Do you think it would be immoral to give them the pill that gives them permanent back pain and cures them over the one that just cures them?
Why do you have to speak in this allegorical, like, just speak normal, bro? Like, can you use this in like a real, like, because God, he never did that. Genuinely, like.
Well, how am I not speaking normal?
You keep speaking in this terminology that I don't speak in, you know?
Well, I what do you mean? I don't know what terminology you're talking about. I use
this pill, like, I'm trying to relate this.
There's one pill where it gets rid of bad things.
Why are you using supernatural context when you don't even believe?
No, get rid of the supernatural context. There's two pills. Your kid has an illness. One pill makes them feel better. The other pill makes them feel better, but it gives them pain. Thank you for the little card. I appreciate it.
Against my beliefs, which is causing me to overthink what you're trying to say. So I'm trying to relate this question with what God did to us. And it does not make sense to me because God has never, ever led us in the wrong direction. So I don't know why, but obviously I would give them the pill that completely heals them with no side effects. None of that.
Clearly, right? So the unnecessary pain in this scenario doesn't make any sense. It's bad for you to do, right? It would be bad for you to cause unnecessary pain.
Says who?
Says your own beliefs. It says God, right? God doesn't want pain. Do you agree?
Bro. Obviously,
God doesn't want unnecessary pain. Do you agree with that?
Bro, why, bro? Yes. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so babies that are being sent to heaven, they can either be sent to heaven through getting drowned or by poofing them there.
Everyone dies.
What one uses less pain? The poofing, right? So we would expect this God to do the poofing, not to drown them.
How do you even know that they didn't poof? Like, first of all,
so is there anything in the Bible that indicates that they were poofed?
No, but even if there wasn't, the suffering of the current moment isn't in comparison of the glory that is to be revealed. So you are dwelling on this life that is going to be hard, this and that, but you're not dwelling on afterlife, what God promises us. So this conversation is pointless when you're trying to talk about God.
I'll read the quote from you from Genesis. 7 days from now, I will reign on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights, and I will wipe from the face of the earth every living creature I have made.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate the hearts. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So is that not clear that they killed babies? Every living creature?
Is there a afterlife, bro? Like, I don't get why you're dwelling on this realm of life. Like, there is no heaven. Like, it just don't make sense to me. It don't make sense, bro. How can you quote the Bible, but you don't believe what he said? You just like ignoring heaven, aren't you?
Because like, I'm telling you what your
say
own belief.
All the bad, but you're ignoring the good.
Chris, I'm telling you what your own belief is. I don't believe in it, but I'm telling you what your own belief is.
But
it is your own belief that every living creature that God has made was wiped from the face of the earth.
Bro, it was for a reason, first of all, bro. God said that the world was so wicked, like around that time, everyone was killing like each other. There was no morals, just like there is today. There's no morals. A lot of people are turning gay. They don't care about God. There's a lot of Satan worshipers. And that's why God...
no one turns gay. And people being gay does not mean that they're like...
I meant to say sexual acts, because that's what God really said. He said, do not do sexual acts with the same partner. So, yeah.
God never said that.
Yes, he did, bro. You going? Yeah.
He literally didn't.
He did, bro.
Jesus didn't say that. Tell me what verse Jesus said that.
Oh my! I wish I had my bro. Just look it up, bro. You done looked up.
I have. Jesus has never said anything about homosexuality.
Why won't you look up this, bro? You will look up.
I have. Jesus never said anything about homosexuality.
Can you look it up right now, bro?
I have. Jesus has never said anything about homosexuality.
That is so cap. I'm finna look it up.
It's not cap. Look it up. Try. Find it.
That is so cap.
Look for it, buddy. Try to get it. I promise. Tap that screen, everyone. Let's try to get to 1 million likes, everyone. I'm probably not going to do sub only chat today. I do have to get off at 6:15. I have class, everyone. So
Jesus say about homosexuality.
Tomorrow I will make up for it, everyone. Chat, don't worry. I apologize.
Okay, it says Jesus is full.
In the meantime, everyone, tap that screen. Let's try to get to 1 million likes. Keep tapping, everyone. Let's tap as much as we possibly can. Actually, let's try to get to 750,000, everyone. I think we can do that. Oh my God, you're still live. I'll be live for another 20, 35 minutes, 45 minutes, something like that.
I'm having a hard time finding it right now.
Oh, I bet.
He definitely.
Yeah, no. Keep looking. Keep trying. Keep trying. Go for it. Go ahead.
Bro, he definitely.
No, try. Go for it. Find it. Try it. You want to put money on it?
Bro, we can put 100 on it.
You want to put? I'm actually serious. I'll put 100 on it.
100% serious.
If you can find me a verse that Jesus talks about homosexuality and says that it's wrong. Thank you. I appreciate the subscription. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Then yes, I will give you $100. If you are wrong, then you owe me $100. Thank you for the lemonade. I appreciate it.
Bet, bro.
Bet?
Yep, bet.
All right, for sure. Yo, thank you for the galaxy. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Jesus, I can't wait to see it. Can't wait. Oh, by the way, my Venmo and my Cash App are in my bio. Just letting you know, Chris.
I'm gonna have to just play this video because they not trying to show it, bro.
There's one simple hearing hack.
It is literally a sin for you to lie, so you have to pay me.
Bro,
give the star. I appreciate it.
I'm Landon Shot, and in my latest book, Gay Awareness.
It's literally a sin for him to lie, chat. He has to pay me. Thank you, the elephant. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you.
What does the Bible really say about homosexuality? There's 6 primary scriptures that deal directly with homosexual practice.
Can you mute your mic and you can look for it? I'll just talk to chat. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, just if you have any questions, put in the comment section right now. Tap that screen, everyone. Let's try to get to 750,000 likes. If you like my content, follow me if you haven't already, everyone. Of course, everything gets back to normal in the live, right when I have to go to class and stuff later, which is truly unfortunate, everyone. I have class at 7 o'clock, y'all, until 9:45. It's gonna be unfortunate. JD, I appreciate the superpower. Thank you very much.
Bro, I found it.
You found it?
Yep.
Where?
Hold up.
Then in Leviticus 18, the Bible refers to
Leviticus 18, bro.
That's not Jesus. That's Old Testament.
Bro, no, that is God, bro.
That's not Jesus. That's the Old Testament.
That is God. God gave.
That's not Jesus. That's the Old Testament.
That is. That's the.
I asked for Jesus, bro.
No, you didn't, bro.
I said Jesus. I literally said Jesus.
Bro, that's still in. Bro, that's in the Bible, bro. You said that it said.
By the way, that Leviticus verse I can also dispute, but again, I said Jesus.
He said homosexuality is an abomination, bro. That's what he said.
That notion that relates to that, the homosexuality, that notion is extremely vague in terms of its usage in that term. So there are questions in terms of that particular one, right? But what I'm saying is very, very clear. It's not Jesus, right? So I'm asking for Jesus.
Oh, bro.
So go find it, Chris, and then you're gonna have to send me $100 later on.
Did you not know that in the Bible, Jesus said, "I'm not telling you to forget about the old law." He said that, bro. That law meant a lot to him. He didn't come to shame the old law. I hope you know that.
Oh, okay. So do you eat pork?
Bro, I don't actually.
Do you wear mixed fabrics?
I'm a vegan, bro. So asking that question, come on now, bro.
You are a vegan?
Yes.
Oh, good for you. Do you wear mixed fabrics?
Mixed fabrics? No.
That's tough.
No, bro. Even if I did, bro. You know, God understands all.
No, you definitely do wear mixed fabrics for sure. So yeah, clearly you're sinning, bro.
Bro, we all sin, and that's why Jesus died, bro. No one could keep the law, but through Jesus, God the Father sees us as righteous. You know.
Yo, thank you for the galaxy. I appreciate it, Molly. Thank you very
It
much.
says Leviticus 18, unlawful sexual relations. The Lord said to Moses to speak to the Israelites and say to them, I am the Lord your God. You must not do as they do in Egypt. Bro, I can't read that. I know it's way too long. But bro,
Yeah, just give me
God
the
called it an
verse that
abomination, bro. Like,
give me the verse that Jesus said that being gay is wrong, engaging in gay intercourse is wrong. Anything to do with Jesus saying it.
Bro, it was already said. Why would he have to say it again?
You said Jesus, and we bet on
but
Jesus.
The word is Jesus. Did you not know that?
Chat, I'm guessing I'm never gonna get the money, but
bro,
I mean that's
bro.
Because I promise you're not gonna find Jesus saying that.
Who is Jesus, bro? What does the Bible say that he is? First of all, because you don't even know who he is.
Jesus is a man.
In the beginning, God created the word.
Jesus is a man that was born in Bethlehem, right?
Listen,
I appreciate the head mustache. Thank you so much.
In the beginning, God created the word, and the word was with God, and the word was God. Jesus was literally the walking word.
But I asked for Jesus, bro. I asked for Jesus.
Bro, the word.
You can't try to make the argument that
bro, he's the living word.
I was asking for Jesus saying that. Where does Jesus say it?
That is Jesus, though. The word is
it's
Jesus,
really not. It's really not, dude.
Oh, it was an abomination before he came in. After he came, bro, nothing changed. He didn't have to say it.
It's really not. You don't hold to Mosaic law.
Bro, we hold the law of God.
Thank you for the head mustache or the little crown. I appreciate it.
Bro, what's your cash up, bro? You want to get half?
It's Linktree's in my bio, or it's in my bio. But no, I'm serious, bro. Like, I'm serious, right? There's nowhere in the Bible where where Jesus says that.
No, it says it in the Bible. Like, what more? See, and this goes back.
No, it does not. No, Jesus does not say it in the Bible.
And this goes back to my point that no matter what you see, what you hear, people like you because you have this certain spirit. You can't acknowledge.
No, you look for fucking mistranslations, like the homosexuality that was added in 1946, bro. Like that's what you look for.
It wasn't though.
It literally was.
It's an abomination to God.
It unironically was.
Bro, it's so bad that God called it an abomination. That is how bad it is. That God called it an abomination. It is so disgusting to him that he is trying his hardest to continue to, wake you up every morning. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so against him. It's an abomination, bro.
Jesus never said it. Okay? Again, give me that verse that says where Jesus says it. I'd love to see it.
Bro, the word is Jesus. So to me, because you don't believe in Christianity, bro, you're just a insider. You're not a real Christian. You don't know who he actually is. I'm going to send you your 50 because you didn't, you know what I'm saying? Because the chat, they going to get on my, you know what I mean?
50?
Bro, because according to my beliefs, Jesus is the word. He is the living word. So whatever was said, that is what Jesus stands for. He is the word of God. You hear me? So you can get 50. And yeah, bro. Thanks for having me on the live. Hope you all find God. Being gay is disgusting. Please turn from it.
No, it's not.
Yeah, yes it is, bro. Bye-bye.
Unbelievable. All right, everyone, if you want to see some debates, keep tapping that screen. Let's try to get to 1 million likes. Everyone, if you disagree, if you think that being gay is immoral, make sure to send a guest request right now. We're going to go into the next person. Send a guest request right now if you do disagree, y'all. If you like my content, follow me. If you haven't already, I go live every single day. We go live for 6 hours, everyone. I'll let y'all know if I get the Cash App, everyone. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hey, how you doing? I'm 44.
For sure. Do you think that being gay
44.
is
I'm 44 years old. For your topic here, why is gay?
By the way, are you driving?
No, I'm sitting in my car.
Okay. Do you think that being gay is immoral?
I don't think it's anything. I mean, honestly, it's nobody. I mean, what they want to do is what they want to do. Because
do you think that having gay intercourse is immoral?
I don't think it's That's their choice.
All right,
It's not
Joseph,
immortal.
I'm
Or,
just looking for people who disagree, but I appreciate you coming
I
on.
mean, I don't
Thank
think
you
it's
so much, Push
immortal.
the Bears. Thank you so much. All right, I'm
You
just
know what
looking
I'm
for
saying?
people who disagree, Joseph. Appreciate it, man.
Okay.
All right, y'all. Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you disagree. We're just looking for some debates, everyone. Just looking for some debates. Again, only send a guest request if you do disagree. Just looking for some debates, y'all. Tap that screen. Let's try to get to 1 million likes, y'all. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello? All right, let me try the next person. Everyone, again, only send a guest request if you do disagree. Again, we're just looking for some debates. I'm trying to get to the next person. Again, tap that screen, everyone. Scott, I appreciate the hat and mustache. Thank you very much. All right, everyone. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
16.
You got to be 18 plus to join the live. TikTok rules, not mine.
No, please. Dang.
Yep, it's TikTok rules. 18 plus, everyone. TikTok rules. All right, y'all. Let me go to the next person, everyone. Have a good class later. Yeah, no, it's going to be so long, everyone. Honestly, my lives are 6 hours, and then the class will feel way longer. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. What's up, Nani? How you doing? Yo, what's up? How old are you?
28.
For sure. Do you think that being gay is immoral?
No, but the Bible does.
Do you believe in the Bible?
No, I'm more of a conscientious objector, but
Okay. So if you don't disagree, but I appreciate you coming on, but I'm looking for people who disagree. Appreciate it, man.
I disagree.
Well, you clearly didn't, so clearly not. Clearly not. I haven't seen any cash app, everyone. No cash apps. What's the probability I get my money, chat? Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Yo, what's up? I'm 18.
For sure. Do you think that being gay is immoral?
Yes, I do, and I believe that the Bible does too. But also, just right before we start on that, I wanted to say something about the thing that came up a lot with Chris, and that was about the babies and the poofing and everything. Hold on, let me look. I'm trying to.
Thank you for the hat mustache. I appreciate it, Scott. Thank you so much.
Looking through some pages real quick. Let me.
Thank you, Scott. I appreciate all the hat mustaches. Thank you so much.
Okay, so the thing with Chris about the babies and the poofing is once a baby is born, right, they come from the womb of the woman, but they're also born of the man. And when Adam ate the apple, right, that was the beginning of all sin. So the baby is automatically subjected to the sins of the father. So, I'm going to say so a lot. It's a thing that I do when I talk. I was almost about to say it. Okay, so, damn it. They're subjugated to the sins of the father. And so, even if they were babies, they still had to be punished for their sins in order to be let into heaven. And that's what I believe. So, there you go.
So
really
the way
nervous.
that they got punished for their sins is by experiencing the drowning?
Yes.
Even
Let's
though
talk about
they're babies.
Right. Because, as I said, once Adam, which is the father of man, him and Eve did and everything, and, humanity was created. The babies are subjugated to the sin of Adam eating the apple, even though God told him not to. And so, yeah, that's sin, and then all the sins came down, and so each time a baby is born, they are subjected to the sins of the father.
Yeah, so you think it's justified for God to drown them rather than poofing them out of existence because they're sinners?
I believe that God has a plan, and that we, as humans, cannot understand that plan.
So are you saying that experience is required to reach heaven?
No, I'm not.
So experience isn't required to reach heaven? So then why
Right.
do we need this type of response or this punishment if it's not required for us to go to heaven?
Say that again.
Yeah, why do we need this particular punishment if it's not required for us to go to heaven?
Well, they had to be punished because of the sins of the father.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, but like, why does that necessitate punishment? It's only because God wants it to be that way, right?
Right.
So God could have just desired against the sins of the father being placed upon this baby, but God decides to place it upon the baby.
Right. But all of history is God's plan. And so is all the way into the future, which is something that we cannot foresee, but he can.
Wait,
because
so all of
everything-
history is God's plan? So was the Holocaust God's plan?
Yep.
The Cambodian genocide was God's plan?
I don't know what that is.
The Cambodian genocide?
Yeah, no, I don't know what that is.
It was
Sorry.
just a genocide that we can reference.
Okay, then-
And any genocide throughout history was God's plan. Children being raped, that's God's plan.
You say raped.
Graped, you have to say R word essay
Oh,
TikTok.
my bad,
TikTok
my bad.
guidelines. You can say grape.
Okay, so yes, everybody is put on Earth for a reason. So yeah.
So yeah, God's goal and plan was for all those things to happen. Okay, that's wild.
Yep.
So human trafficking was God's plan?
It is a part of it.
Okay. Sure, right. So God is all knowing, all powerful, and all good, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so God has the ability to actualize any logically possible world.
True, yes.
Is there a logically possible world where I never sinned?
No, there's not.
So it's logically impossible for me to never sin.
Yeah.
What is the contradiction?
Do you know the contradiction? Because I can't. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm asking you. You're saying that it's not logically possible, so you're saying that there's a contradiction. I'm asking you what that
Yeah, it's not
contradiction
logically
is.
possible for you to live the life where you didn't sin. Maybe
Yeah,
I
why?
misunderstood.
Why is it contradictory?
Because it's impossible for us not to sin. Because we're flesh,
Why?
we're human.
Wait, but why can't we sin because we're human? Or no, why do we have to
Because we're
sin
not
because
perfect.
we're human?
Good. All right, say that again, sir.
Yeah, so God is a perfect creator, right?
Right.
What does it mean to be a perfect creator? Is it that they create perfect things?
Well, I'm not perfect, and nobody else is perfect, and I haven't ever heard of anybody being perfect, so I don't know what perfect constitutes.
Does a flawless, because that's what's in Psalms, flawless is the definition of perfect. Is a flawless creator going to entail a creation in which there is flaws? Or a creation
Oh, I
in
see
which
where
is
you're going.
flawless?
Are you going to the, God, could have stopped, Adam
I'll
and
ask
Eve
you this.
from
I'll
eating
ask you this.
Okay.
No, none of those, right? Perfect test taker. What do you expect to see?
100%.
100% every time, okay? Perfect free throw shooter. What do you expect to see?
Shaquille O'Neal. I'm just kidding.
10 out of 10 free throws, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So perfect creator, what do you expect to see?
I expect to see 10 out of 10 worlds.
Thank you. I appreciate the handout. Thank you so much. So perfect creation. Okay. We agree that this is not a perfect creation. It's not just my idea of perfection. It's under God's reference because sin is flaws, right? And so under God's notion, this is a flawed reality, right? So if there is an imperfect creation, that tells us that there's not a perfect creator, as what we would expect to see given a perfect creator is that there is a perfect creation.
So that's why the whole Jesus thing happened, right? He saw that things were not going as planned. And so he put it back on course, right? Hello?
Yeah. So, but the idea is that it would have never gone off course because perfect creator entails perfect creation. The perfect creation would have never divulged from the original, perfection, right? Because if you're
See,
perfect,
that's
you
where
can't have a
Satan
flaw.
comes in, right?
Yeah,
That's
but
where Satan comes in.
yeah, but Satan can't expose anything that's not a flaw, right? Because again, Jesus came down. Jesus was tempted by the devil, but Jesus never succumbed to the temptation of the devil because Jesus was
he
perfect.
was a perfect guy, right?
Yeah. So the same way that Jesus was perfect, therefore doesn't succumb to the devil, the same way that Adam and Eve, if they were perfect, they would never succumb to the devil.
No, because they were human.
But
That's
that would
thing.
only,
but
they were perfect. But they were
And
perfect.
we're the people messing things up.
But if we would be messing it up if we were perfect, because then that would be indicating a flaw. You can't say that they're flawed and flawless simultaneously. That's a contradiction. Thank you for the superpower. I appreciate it, Helmo. Thank you so much. Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so about when Satan, put the little snake boots on and went into the Garden of Eden, right? And he tempted them with the apple. Before all that, they were walking around with no clothes on, right? I know this sounds weird, but just let me get to the point. Okay, so that was I guess to symbolize that they had no sin because they had no shame about, walking around with, everything out there. True. And then when Satan came into the picture, they did what? They became imperfect. They became shameful. God, we're not wearing any clothes. Don't look at us. And so, so Satan started all that. And that is also in my beliefs, which is how I understand the Bible, which is, again, only 18. Don't know everything. But from what I believe is that the Bible says that all this has happened. Jesus came to earth. He died for our sins. And that was to correct what Satan had done. Now, Satan still tempts us today, Whoa, that cake looks super good. I'm going to indulge in this great looking cake.
Nani, thank you so much for the Interstellar. W Nani in the comment section right now. Everyone spam W Nani. Thank you so much. I appreciate the Interstellar. You've been going wild with the Interstellars recently. I really appreciate it, Nani. Literally, I literally can't say thank you enough. W Nani in the comment section. Everyone spam that right now. We need a W Nani emote. What are y'all thoughts on that?
W Nani.
Yo, for real. All right, you can continue. I apologize. I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good, bro. It's just what you do. Not cutting people off, but never mind. Okay.
Yeah, just say thank you and those are, yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay. So as I was saying, I see this beautiful piece of cake. I'm going to eat it. I'm going to indulge in the cake, and indulgence is sin. And so that temptation is of Satan. Satan tempts people. So it's basically, I know gay people have a sexual attraction towards men or other men, right? So that's a temptation of Satan.
Yeah, I don't think that okay, I don't like, first of all, I don't like the way that it's being referenced. I don't think that this is
I didn't mean it I can use it.
I just disagree with the way it's being referenced. I don't think it's a temptation clearly towards from Satan or something like that. I don't think that you have reason to believe that at all because I wouldn't accept this particular religious standard.
Well, can I have a answer on why not?
Yeah, I mean, I've given you the why not, right? Thank you for the hat mustache. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I think there are contradictions, whether it relates to the problem of evil or it relates to this circumstance with the perfect creator argument. Clearly speaking in this scenario, I think this is one of the most basic arguments I could provide. Thank you for the hat cowboy. I appreciate it. Thank you. So clearly speaking, I mean, what do you dispute with this? Because again, I think the setup that I gave in terms of perfect free throw shooter, perfect free throws made, perfect test taker, perfect test taken, right? Things like that would entail.
When was the last time you saw God shoot a free throw?
I haven't seen God shoot a free throw.
Yeah, right. Because the people that are playing basketball, I'm not saying God isn't a hooper up there in heaven, but I'm saying that he's not down here playing it with us where nobody is perfect and nobody is going to be a 10 out of 10 free throw shooter. Right?
He's not playing it down with us where he can be a perfect. I'm confused what your point is with that.
Okay. Let me restate it. So God is perfect. Like, I heard you went to church when you were talking to Chris. That's like one of the big things about Christianity, right? Is that we need to follow God and everything that he does because he's all knowing God, right? So even, I'm just saying, like, if he came down and he was shooting free throws, he would be perfect, but nobody else on earth would be perfect because they're human. They're of the flesh. So like even like Michael Jordan, he's shooting a free throw, right? Something glinty catches his eyes and it distracts him and he misses the free throw by like a centimeter. He's Michael Jordan, but he's not perfect, right? He's like, who's the best basketball player,
He's
right?
not perfect
Michael
in that
Jordan.
sense. Like, for example, right, if there's a perfect free throw shooting machine, right, and the free throw shooting machine misses a free throw, was it a perfect free throw shooting machine? Well, clearly not, right?
But humans are not machines, right?
I understand that humans are not machines. I'm just using it to demonstrate a point.
But that point, again, it doesn't represent accurately with a human because a machine is not a biological human.
Okay, if there's a perfect free throw shooter and they miss a free throw, were they actually a perfect free throw shooter?
But that argument isn't possible because nobody is perfect. Only God is perfect.
It's not physically possible because there aren't going to be perfect individuals, in which we do see in our current reality, but it is logically possible, and God can actualize any logically possible reality. So this is absolutely relevant to talk about when we're talking about God.
Okay, wait, say that again. Sorry.
This is relevant to talk about when we're talking about God because it's a logically possible world.
Where there's a perfect free throw shooter or a perfect person?
Yeah, well, yeah, where there's a perfect person, a perfect free throw shooter, things like this. These are things that can be actualized by a God. So we're just using this to demonstrate a concept.
But he doesn't do that, right?
What do you mean?
He doesn't make a perfect person.
But it's entailed given the fact that God is perfect.
No, it's not entailed because maybe the perfect isn't, perfect has a plan, right? God is perfect. He has a plan. That plan, since we're not perfect, we can't understand the perfect plan.
Okay, I'm confused how that responds to me. Right? Again, the idea is that if God is perfect, right, and then you're saying that we're in a state of imperfection, and then say it even leads to perfection in the future, that doesn't mean anything, right? Because it wouldn't make sense to go from a perfect state of affairs to an imperfect state of affairs just to go back to a perfect state of affairs, right? It would have just made sense to stay at the perfect state of affairs from the first place.
But you can't say that. You can't say that because you don't understand what God is doing. Nobody does.
What do you mean I can't say that?
I mean, I'm saying like you can't say that because you can't understand what God is doing. Right?
So if I can't understand what God is doing, you can't understand God. Why would we even be able to make a claim that God does exist?
Because of the Bible. It's his word.
Well, how do you know it's his word if we can't understand him?
I thought you said you were a Christian.
I never said I was Christian. I'm not Christian.
Oh, right. That's right. You just said that you went to like church and stuff when you were little.
I grew up Christian, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So like when you went to church, Okay. Never mind. Let's just, what's the next thing you want to say? No, repeat what you're going to say.
I don't know what you're talking about. Which one? You literally just asked me a question of like when I went to if I went to church. What was it prior to that?
That's right. My bad. Okay. So you went to church, and in church, I was at church last Sunday and something kind of similar came up to this, but it wasn't like this. And so they were talking about how we're supposed to follow Jesus, even though we don't understand him, and why we follow Jesus, even though we don't understand him. And I'm not going to lie. I was really tired. I had a late Saturday night, but I can say this. We are supposed to follow him because he is our shepherd and we are his sheep. And what do sheep do? They follow the shepherd. And that's what we're supposed to do. All right. Cool.
What was that?
What was what?
I'm sorry, chat. Was that just me? I'm sorry. Did anyone else hear that? Please.
What?
Bro, please, bro. I thought that was just me. Chat.
What was it?
No, nothing. Don't worry about it. It was nothing, bro. I'm gonna leave it alone. Don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So if I move on.
What's up?
So the next thing about what Chris said about the prayers and everything and how you responded, right? So wait. I'm looking for specific. Okay. So letting your sin nature control your mind leads to death, but letting the spirit control your mind leads to life. And this is something else that I wanted to talk about. And that's how, so you also said, oh wait. Yeah. So you also said to Chris that that Jesus never said that it was about how
that engaging in gay intercourse is a sin, or that being gay is a sin. Never said that.
Right. You said that you had some debates on about what it said in Leviticus, and I was just wondering like what that debate was, and I just was wondering if you wanted to share.
Oh, I mean, that's not going to be relevant. That's the Old Testament. Thank you for that, Mustache. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Scott.
Why is the Old Testament not relevant?
Thank you. I appreciate it. Common Christians don't hold to that. Thank you. I appreciate the hat mustache. Thank you. Do you think eating pork is immoral?
I know that. Is it Jews that don't eat pork? Is that
it's within the Old Testament. Thank you for the hat and mustache. I appreciate it. So do you think it's immoral?
No. Oh,
okay,
that's why you said that.
Yeah, you don't consider Old Testament to be immoral. I mean, things in the Old Testament to be immoral, if they're considered immoral. So just because it's in the Old Testament saying that it's immoral doesn't mean that it is immoral, although I can question whether or not it's actually saying that it's immoral. Thank you. I appreciate the hat and mustache. Thank you so much, Scott. Appreciate all of them.
I can see that one. But then the next thing I wanted to ask was about the what's the word? About the gay being natural in nature. Like,
yes, it does exist in nature. There are hundreds of different species that exhibit gay intercourse. Yo, Nani again with the Interstellar and all the hat and mustache. I appreciate it, Scotty. Thank you so much. W Nani's again in the comment section with the Interstellar. Yo, I appreciate it so much, Nani. W Nani's. Let's go, everyone. W Nani's. Sorry, can you ask your question again?
Okay, so like, could you give the example of I know you said like the hundreds of species, like, I'm like, when we're debating, each of us learn, each of us take away what we will. And so I just wanted to know like the species that you had in mind.
Thank you for the paper crane. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah. So for example, like penguins, like rams, 10% of rams are gay. There are penguins that create family structures around gay relationships, and they actually adopt members of their own species. There are lots I can name. My sister had hamsters that were gay, like when she was a kid.
Wait, she had gay ham?
Yeah, literally, yeah.
She had gay ham?
Yeah, unironically, yeah.
That's not something I expected you to say. I'm sorry, it took me kind of off guard. So, okay, I'm gonna believe you about that. But when the animals do commence in the gay actions, is there a specific something that goes wrong in their little circle of everything that causes them to then take in what humans call, well, I can't say that, but when they do gay things, I'm trying to say it in the best way possible.
Like what?
Okay, sorry, I rambled.
So I appreciate Scott. Thank you.
Is there something that goes wrong around them? Say a mate or something got killed, and then homeboy over here came over.
Nothing specific. No,
nothing specific.
For example, the Rams, they literally just will refuse it. They just really don't want to. We can show you bonobos. Bonobos are extremely genetically similar to humans. Thank you for the little crown. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. They're known for being lesbian.
crazy. Really? I did not know that.
Oh
Thank
yeah,
you.
hundreds of different species. I'm pretty sure it's over 1,000 actually.
Cool.
Yeah, so it does exist within nature, but just something existing within nature does not tell us that we should do this. Right,
Like,
but there is
you know,
nothing
there's
wrong with
lights,
being gay, with
everybody-
engaging in gay intercourse. Right, but again, just because something exists in nature does not mean we should do that. There are many things that exist within nature that we shouldn't do.
Right. Okay. Okay. So the other thing about the praying and the answering of prayers is that, again, I'm going to say something about God's plan again. I know I sound like a beat up old record, but if you're praying to God, right, and you're praying for like what you said, the lottery. But if you asking for the lottery isn't a part of God's plan, then He's not going to grant that prayer because it would, mess everything up. And I know what you're going to say. There's already a lot of mess ups with childs being raped and everything like that.
Matt, with the fucking TikTok shuttle, bro. Matt, what are you doing, bro? W Matt in the comment section right now. Spam the emote, everyone. Spam the W Matt emote. Matt, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing, bro? I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Sorry, can you say what you said again?
Okay, so when I was a kid, never mind, I'm not gonna tell this story. So say you pray for something like the lottery, right? If you are like, He's not going to answer every single prayer because not all prayers have to do with God's plan. He might have a plan for you, like, well, it's not a might thing. It's a like He does have a plan for you, like it says in Jeremiah, right? For I have a plan for you, and you're going to follow it. That's not what it says all the way, but it's basically what He says. And so He has a plan for you, and what you're praying for is like winning the lottery, but you did something, and so now you need to be humbled. Then he's not gonna give you the lottery because He needs you to be humble in this moment and not be, I won the lottery, I'm gonna go buy a car.
So being humble, that's a knowledge claim, right? Like someone gains knowledge gains the ability to be humble through knowledge, right? Knowledge doesn't require experience. God can give us this knowledge without having experience.
But why would He, right?
Well, because there's no reason not to. As God, we have some knowledge that's based on our biology, right? Thank you. I appreciate the fruits. Thank you for the hat and mustaches. I appreciate. Thank you.
But can I say that there's no reason to do it, right?
What do you mean?
You said that there is no reason for Him not to do it, and I'm saying there's no reason for Him to do it, right?
To do what again? Sorry.
To give you the knowledge, right? That's what you said earlier.
Yeah. So there's no reason for. Yeah. No. The reason is to limit the level of suffering. Thank you, Scott. I appreciate all of the hat and mustaches. Thank you so much.
So, what's the reason?
Because it would reduce the amount of suffering. Thank you. I appreciate that mustache. Thank you so much. Thank you for the puppy get together as well. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
So
I appreciate it, Scott.
So what you're saying is that He's not giving you the knowledge so that you're not going to suffer as much, right?
Yeah, if God gave me the knowledge, I wouldn't have to suffer as much. Thank you, Rachel. I appreciate the confetti. Thank you for all the hat and mustaches as well. I appreciate it, Scott. Going crazy.
Right. But what if that's like, okay, so let me keep going with the story about the dude and so the guy has lost his car because he's lost his job. And God has put him on earth to make an impact in somebody's life that he's going to pass walking down the street. And so this man has already lost his car, and he goes and he prays, "Dear Lord, please help me win this lottery. Amen." And then gets a scratch off ticket, right? I don't know how these things work. I'm not into like lottery and stuff. But he scratches it off and he gets the lottery and he goes straight to the car place and he buys a car. And he drives right past the dude that God put him on earth to help because he bumps into him walking down the street. But since he wasn't walking that day because he won the lottery, he drove past him, and therefore he didn't get to impact that person's life in the way that God wanted to. So that would be an instance of you praying for something that didn't work out with God's plan. And so he can't change your plan, because what if that person, if you didn't impact them, was going to I don't know if I can talk about that, was going
Is
to...
this just an explanation as to why sometimes God doesn't answer prayers?
Yes.
Thank you for that, Mustache. I appreciate it. So it's only God answers your prayer if it's in accordance with his plan.
Yeah.
You mean what have happened before. So whether or not you pray for it doesn't change whether or not it happens.
Right.
Yeah, so praying for it does nothing. Thank you for that, Mustache. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of them. Yeah, you just literally told us it does nothing. Praying does nothing.
Look, man. Praying is like talking with your father. Okay? If you're on your father's good side, right? And then and you talk with him, and you're having a good conversation with him, right? And so you're on his good side, and then you go, "Hey, Dad, so how about that car we talked about? Will you buy it for me?" Oh, so you just talked to me because you wanted that car, right? You see how that feels? Or what if you prayed for something that didn't involve messing up not your plan, but God's plan for you? When I was little, my mom and dad had split up, and I prayed every night.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. If I literally asked my parents to help me when I was suffering, if I was in really bad illness, or I had cancer or something,
right,
and they could stop that from happening, they would.
Right.
And they wouldn't care whether or not they think I'm just asking because I just want that help, but they would do that because they care about me.
Right. But so if it's like an empty asking is what I'm trying to say. An empty promise, you promise something, or let me say it, it's a bounced check. You write the promise on the check that you're giving this, that you have this amount of money in the bank, but you give the check and it bounces, right? But you don't actually have that money. So it's you're praying for something. Okay, that was a really bad way. I went bad with that.
By the way, people in the chat, I have till 7 o'clock, so I was gonna get off by 6:30. Everyone, thank you for the good evening. I appreciate it. I'll have enough time if I do that. Everyone, don't worry.
Okay, so basically, you can pray for something, and if it doesn't interrupt with
Yo, Nani, thank you so much for the Leon. I appreciate it, Nani. W Nani's again. Let's go. I love the Leon. Love the Leons.
Hold on, let me do it. Let me do it. All right, dope. All right, so if you pray for something that doesn't interrupt God's plan for you, then he will come through with it eventually. But so the lottery thing and that whole that story was him winning the lottery would get in the way of him helping that guy who God put him on earth specifically to help that guy, right? So the thing with as I was saying, when my parents split up and I was constantly praying for a new dad and some brothers and sisters wouldn't hurt, and I'm guessing that didn't really affect God's plan for me because I've got him now, to the T.
Yeah, but the point is that prayer does nothing, so there's no point for you to pray.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that praying does nothing. I'm saying that...
But whether or not you pray doesn't change anything that happens or anything that God does.
Why not?
Thank you for the dinosaur. Appreciate it. Well, because remember, you told me that whether or not you prayed, it's still going to be whatever God's plan is. Whether or not you pray doesn't change God's plan.
Not all the time. Right? Like what I just said.
So God can change the plan.
No. So like this, right? You live, and then once you get to that part of your life where God needs you to do something, and you pray to win the lottery and get that car, and you bypass God's plan, then he's not going to give you the lottery because he knows that you're going to get that car and then you're going to bypass God's plan. or bypass his plan. Dang it. Bypass his plan. So he's not going to give you the lottery.
Okay, so if it goes against your plan, then he does not grant it.
God, if it goes against God's plan, not my plan.
Yeah. So
Right.
it only happens if God's plan dictates it to happen.
Exactly.
Okay. So again, right? Anything that is so it's just dependent upon God's plan. Prayer does nothing.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Look, so okay, I'm going to retell the story. All right.
Okay.
So, God's plan for you, I'm sorry, that was loud. God's plan for you is to help this specific person on this specific day because he's going to go do something that's terrible. And so he puts you on that day, walking past him, bumping into him on the street. Maybe he's your old friend or something, you don't know. But you bumping into him and talking to him for a couple of minutes brightens his day exponentially. All right. So let's rewind to before that point happening where you bumped into that guy. Wow, I really need to cut my fingernails. But okay, sorry. The point where you pray to get the lottery, if he just gives you the lottery and you go and buy a car and you drive past the dude at that point in time and you don't see him at all, then you just you can't do God's plan because you missed it. You missed the dude.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
Yeah, I guess I have a separate question I could ask you now.
Okay. Shoot.
Do you think that the flood, like God killing the people on the planet, everyone, do you think that removed their free will?
Their free will?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, they kind of died, so I guess
did remove
in the
their free
world
will.
of the living, so he took away their physical will, like he took away.
Okay, so but prior to the Holocaust, couldn't God have just taken the physical will away from Hitler
by killing everybody on the planet?
No,
Yeah.
by stopping Hitler. Just by stopping Hitler. Because again, if God does it to everyone, it's fine, and it doesn't get rid of free will. So if God does it to one person, it shouldn't get rid of free will either.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so he could have just done that. He could have just stopped the Holocaust. He could have stopped Holodomor. He could have stopped the Cambodian genocide. He could have stopped people and children dying of cancer, of illnesses. He could have stopped rape. Could have stopped children from being sex trafficked.
Yeah, he could have.
But God decided not to do that. Thank you.
Yes.
I appreciate the jellyfish. Thank you so much, Matt. Appreciate it.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So God doesn't want to stop those things.
Right.
Oh, okay. All right. Is there anything else you wanna talk about or add?
I just want to say one more thing, and it's Proverbs 19:21. You can make plans, but my purpose will prevail. And that's just a little scripture that I like. So yeah, I'll leave you with that. It was good
Appreciate
talking
it, man.
to you.
Good talking to you. Thank you for coming on.
No problem, bro. See you later.
Have a good day. All right, everyone. I do have to get off for today. I was live for probably over 6 hours or so, but we're going to go and we're going to raid Dean. Everyone look up It's Not Dean. Spam Parker raid. Spam love from Parker. Tomorrow I should be on around 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we should be on for a long time tonight. Everyone go look up It's Not Dean. Spam Parker raid. Spam love from Parker. Nani, I appreciate all the hand arts. Thank you so much again. Go look up It's Not Dean. Spam Parker raid. Spam love from Parker. I'll see everyone later. Have a fantastic night, everyone. Peace out, y'all. Love y'all so much.